you have to say. We know the dreams and nightmares must light your way. What may come, the fight goes on for one more day. Whenever lives and prayers must die away, who brought this curse and led us all astray? The day has died and emotion is fade. Wake up, my friends, the dreams and nightmares will die for just one more day.
Hello.
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 See, I was just trying to sound casual. Half of you sounded rapey. And then there's Jimmy, just like, I'm here and I don't give a fuck.
That's because I don't.
Dude.
No, I didn't say anything.
Well, we already know you'd sound rapey.
Excuse me?
To be fair, you are the darkness.
That doesn't mean I don't understand the team.
That's true. Also, Josh, I have no idea what you were trying to write on the title card there, but
Says I'm fluffy.
It is very cut off because the edge of the title card is like right here, at least on my screen.
Not
It is
on my
also
screen.
there on my screen. I don't know what's going on with Josh's screen.
Oh, whatever, as long as it's on the recording and he can see it, but yeah, fuck, whatever. Anywho, so we already cut Cassie up. Anyway, so as far as where we are picking up, so
But
what?
did you catch
What?
Cassie up in 30 words or less?
Oh fuck no! But it's definitely less than 100 words, so I get a B minus. Anyway, so jumping straight into it, since we don't really have any housekeeping to take care of any sort. So everybody is just having gotten back into the party van. Atlantic is in the back, probably laying across like the 4th row seating or what have you. Okay, we'll go with 5th. I don't know what the deal is with this bus. It's fucking bus upholding. But anyway, so Atlantic's in the very, very back. We're gonna say that for the moment, Frida and her pets are keeping an eye on him, along with Harrison. I want to know who's driving and who's in the passenger seat up front.
Hi, I'm driving.
Okay, who's
Probably in the passenger seat. Fuck it.
Okay, who has radio privileges?
I hack it and get my own radio privileges.
Cassie,
Yes.
this is a college-funded party bus that does not have Bluetooth.
I will find a way.
Okay, so
No. Wait, Myriad. Myriad is like hiding up there and changing the radio.
So Mari is all like, "Hey, Myriad, I want to listen to something." Zach was okay, and he flits up there and like turns around and plugs his butt into the radio. So Cassie, what station do you put it to?
Answer very carefully. I believe this is a trap.
Come on, Cassie.
I'm
waiting.
getting to it.
Get to it faster.
Because this is the first thing that came to my mind.
Oh, gee.
It might not come up on Pandora.
Did you hear, all of you, that glum resignation?
Well, first,
That was not what I wanted to do. Fine, I'll just do it through the YouTubes.
I don't know why this is the first thing that came to my head.
Anyway, so this starts playing as you guys are making your way down the dirt road heading towards civilization proper.
She's such a misfit, always ready to brawl. It's like her business, roughing up your friends for all. There is no difference.
Anyway, so you have a bunch of shit to talk about.
So Kirsten,
Yeah.
the head of Digger wiggles out from underneath your seat and goes, "Hello, friend. We have not been introduced. I am Digger."
Yes, I know you're Digger. You're just different. Life FX.
But yes, but previously all I could do was the sound effects from What Does the Fox Say? So, I'm going to leave you to your thoughts, because you have a lot of them. I can tell.
I do have a lot of thoughts.
Jameson looks over. It's like me, but on an espresso bender.
There are two of them now. You look at him glance at you from the rear view mirror. Except I don't know. One of us is fluffy. The other one's just old. I guess.
Digger pipes up from under the seat that he's wiggling under. You're not old. We're not old.
Compared to most of us, you kinda are a little bit.
What's 12 years? Though they had said in unison between the two of them. They both say it at the same time.
That's nearly half. That's about half a generation, is what that is.
What's half a generation?
Exactly that.
So, how's Atlantic doing back there? Jameson asks.
He
I
seems
have a
pretty
question.
specific to me. You get it? He's specific. You hear Ziggy from the back going, "Yeah, it's a funny joke."
It's like, oh no, there are two of them.
Damn right there are, sister. Damn right.
Wait, that makes, what, 3 now?
Chloe, can Bindweed talk?
Yes, she can talk.
But she hasn't.
She has nothing to say.
Hey, bindweed. Yo. He says from the back.
The plant just looks at him.
Yo, you got any catnip?
Yeah, okay, sure. She grows some catnip for him.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah, thank you. And he just starts, like, rolling in this shit in the back seat. He's got his own seat, by the way. At least I like to imagine he does. He's just rolling and he's like, okay, I'm cool. Nobody asked me for anything the rest of the trip. I swear to God. I'm done. He just sits back, takes a nap.
Morgan, there's 16 people in this bus.
I think, okay, never mind. I think he's definitely where... Yeah, he's definitely on Pepper's lap then.
I just, I take it as, bindweed's basically just the part of me that wasn't quite human anymore. And, she expresses herself differently. I understand her, and that's all that really mattered.
That's what it's about.
Pine cones. Just winging them at people.
Winged pine cones.
I like to imagine that Pepper's like drumming her fingers. She's kind of like petting Ziggy, and meanwhile she's just like, cool. She's like hanging out, like she doesn't really know what to say. She's like,
Mari's just kind of scrolling through her tablet. She's Bluetooth connected to Myriad, who is connected to the radio.
Hey,
What?
can you play some sweet jams on there?
Depends on what you consider to be sweet jams.
You got any metal?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
maybe not for the car ride. I'll show you
Okay,
later.
Cool. Alright, cool. I'm just gonna like... She like, hey Ziggy, can you like turn into a gaming system? And Ziggy's like, man, I ain't doing shit from now on. I had that catnip, I'm good. Okay, does anybody like, anybody know what's up with the Atlantic guy back there? Like, is he cold? Do we have to do anything to him? Like, get him in water? Or is he like fine?
Honestly, we're not sure about that.
Okay, I mean, he's kind of asleep, I think. Anybody check to see if he's like dead?
Yes. We have checked if he's dead.
Okay, good. I don't want to, be carrying a dead body across, I don't know where we are, state lines, question mark, all that.
Which point John pipes up with, to be fair, I don't remember anything about there actually being states here. It physically looks like Germany, but culturally, and as far as what little government is actually around in here, not.
Full
That's
Metal
kind of
Alchemist
what I was asking.
2003.
What, Mari?
I said, yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering.
what I'm curious about is if Jotunheim does exist again. I'm wondering about any of the other realms from that particular part of the cosmic cluster.
Maybe not yet. Maybe if we can find things to open the door to other places, they'll exist then too.
To essentially wake them up.
Okay, sorry, out of character. I'm finally kind of set up. Sorry for the delay. I've been listening though for like 5 minutes.
You're fine.
In character though, Frida is going to say, so the question would be if Valkyrie can ascend enough power that I was able to transfer myself without any keys. I wonder if she might be able to do the same later.
It might be, but theoretically, the only place that would exist right now is Jotunheim.
It was a thought.
Mari, why are we listening to Final Fantasy music?
Why not?
Played the newest one yet?
I figured this would be fine for driving and conversing.
It's pretty sweet jams.
So, that's that theory out there. Also, better question. Why was he in the giant ice monster to begin with?
Well, I figure some things we might not know until he wakes up. If he wakes up.
If he even knows.
That too.
Another point of postulation. Why did so many of us, our little powers, evolve in the proximity of that portal? 1, 2, 3? 3 of us?
It might not have been because of the portal. I mean, that was a rather vigorous battle for them.
Hey, Frida. Digger has one of those grins on his face. Say vigorous again.
No.
Jameson.
Please.
Jameson.
Jameson, control your thing.
Digger is already going to be having to get the sexual harassment talk. Don't convince me that it's both of you and not just your cavalier persona over there.
Alright, I'll get the soundbite later somehow.
Good luck.
Seriously.
Ultimately, I think Frida might have the gist of it, though. That it wasn't even a true ice giant. It was almost like, I don't even know quite exactly what it was, but yeah, even though that first little form transition that they've made is only a slight increase to how capable they are, it was kind of necessary for what you guys were all going, or what we were all going up against. The thing was not going to be a pushover, and it makes me wonder if there's still Orochimaru to deal with, and if we're going to even be able to do that.
we going? Question mark. Anybody know? Anybody got the GPS? Anybody
I was assuming we
know
were going to my house.
You're okay. Cool. How far away is that?
4 hours.
4 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay.
get comfortable, take a nap or something if you want.
Does anybody want to stop at McDonald's? No? Okay. Okay, cool.
We will stop for food at some point along the way.
Thank you.
But we might end up. Mari, how much kind of in? All right. Trying. Whatever. Mari, are you able to like call somebody and get some like in-depth first aid supplies, like delivered to your house?
Yeah. How in depth are you talking? I need to know who I'm calling.
We may need to put. We may need to put Atlantic on a saline and nutrient drip, depending on how long he's out.
Okay, I should be able to get that. Do you know what he's gonna need?
Vaguely, but here I'll. He looks over at Mage, who already like just conjures this little notepad and a pen, and then hands it over to John, who just starts jotting some things down.
Because if I remember right, he's like out of character. He's not human, right? He's
Atlantic?
yeah.
No, Atlantic is not human.
Thought so. It's like so it was more of a shit. What do we need for a non-human?
Mm-hmm. Silly mutant aquatic things.
Do we need like? Should we like put him in a vat of salt water or something?
Okay, this is the fourth time this has been brought up, but no,
Hey,
he's not water lad.
I didn't know, and I didn't know that was the fourth time it was brought up.
I get it, but I'm just letting you all know now. Atlantic is not like that one guy, Water Lad from the comics back home. Sticking him in a thing of salt water is not his magical cure-all.
No, I was not thinking cure-all. I was just thinking, is that one of the things that would help? That's all.
Yeah. Atlantic is fully amphibious. He's fine.
Okay.
We need to be able to diagnose why he's out in the first place. That's going to take equipment. Or at the very least, time with Mage, but either way.
Anyway, I should be able to get some first aid stuff delivered.
Okay.
Just write down what you need, and I'll figure out who I need to call.
Okay. Anyway, so as in, just as an out of character thing, is anybody else have anything they wanted to bring up on the car ride? Andy, you keep like inhaling and then like you're trying to say something and then you stop.
That was actually a sneeze, and I was desperately trying to mute myself before I actually sneezed.
Oh, well, you failed at the mute button, but I'm glad that you avoided the sneeze.
No, I did not. I sneezed, but I got the inhale muted and then sneezed.
Okay.
I had to order a face mask because of all the smoke.
Yep.
Awesome.
Anywho, so as far as like the narrative of everything, the camera pans out through the back window, and you just kind of watch the van finally get off to a road proper, and you turn down it, heading north again towards the city for the next few hours.
Simply known as that city.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho,
What's Morgan's character name again?
Pepper.
Okay. She's never seen Mari's house.
I have
No.
not.
you guys found her in a cave.
Yeah, I lived in a cave up till now, according to you guys. So
Hmm.
I'm fresh meat.
I wouldn't say that you. I would not say that you actually lived in a cave. We just don't understand why you were in the cave.
Oh no, I certainly didn't live in a cave, but I came from a cave.
Dirty.
I was chilling there.
Anywho, so. Oh, oops. Gosh darn it. I did not want to click on that. Cassie, mute your microphone. Since my family doesn't understand volume control, we don't need to be hearing whatever they're listening to on the TV.
Yes,
Anyway.
That's a good idea.
Okay. So, you guys, well, I guess first I should have Cassie roll for her trying to get a hold of some materials thing.
How does resources work again?
The wealth thing is yeah, that never mind, that's right. You have a plus 24. You automatically succeed at something this small. But the way that it works is that you would roll a d20 and you have to try it's a skill check functionally, but the only way to put points into it is through the feat. And like every rank of the wealth feat gives you like 8 points into 6 points, I think it was, into your wealth modifier. And buying like a first aid kit would be a difficulty of like 10 maybe. Anyway, so you'll be fine for trying to buy the stuff. It's not going to matter. But I'm going to have you roll me a diplomacy check just to try and see if you're able to get it to the house, like either before or around when you guys are going to show up.
A diplomacy?
Yeah, you have to negotiate this shit.
Really random.
My project management
I'm
class
buying
says that
it.
all things can be fixed with either time, organization, or money. Enough money will fix the time.
Right?
Well, then I guess the question is, like, yes, you have the wealth to swing it easily, sure, but do you want to pay like triple cost for getting it like emergency delivered, or are you going to try to negotiate out of it? I mean, it's literally 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. It's just the flavor of the thing.
Like, she kind of solves a lot of her problems with money
Okay.
because she has it and she's earned it, and she's like, might as well use it.
Okay, so then never mind. So it's going to be a check that's somewhere between oof and ow, but again, you can fucking afford it. So you guys come pulling into Mari's house, and just for the sake of the narrative again, Cassie, do you want to describe what her driveway is like?
Well, it's the house has a gate, like in front of it, first of all, and it's like just this big circular driveway with lots of trees and shrubs and whatnot. It just looks like a rich person's home. It's got a lot of land surrounding it. And then the building is a very modern, lots of glass, lots of angles. Yeah. It's white.
That's racist.
There's also a large area where there is just a ton of solar panels. It's kind of fenced off so it doesn't like mar the landscape, but you can see it.
Okay. So, yeah, Morgan, that's what Pepper sees when they're first coming up the driveway.
Whoa, shit! You live here? Holy fuck!
Welcome to my house.
Welcome to my house. I love it. Holy hell! Is there a pool?
Yes.
Oh fuck yeah! Hey, Ziggy. What up, man? You want to hit the pool? Yeah, dog. Let's do it. And I like go out. I'm like looking around the house. I'm like, where's the pool? Where's the pool? Where's the pool? Where's the pool? I'm gonna go find the pool.
It's one of the ones that goes from indoor to outdoor.
Oh fuck yeah! So I run towards where the outdoor section of the pool is, and I jump in.
Meanwhile, John's like heading to the back of the van, like trying to grab the makeshift stretcher that Atlantic is in.
I'm kind of surprised that wasn't Jameson's first reaction.
Valkyrie actually takes the other end of the stretcher.
Oh god. Well, he is medium sized now, so like, you know, that actually works out.
You mean she?
Okay, you
No, I'm just confused who you're doing.
Based on Thor.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. There was not the right Pokemon thing that, like, worked.
No.
Jameson and Digger are also on hand with the stretcher.
Oh wow, that's a cool looking house.
And what were you saying, Emily, that Bindweed and Chloe were up to?
Oh, nothing. I was just making an in-character comment that Chloe was saying that she was surprised that when Jameson first found out Mari had a pool, she was surprised that wasn't his reaction.
So,
But I already knew that Mari had a pool.
I meant in the... Never mind.
anyway, so as they're bringing Atlantic in, there's like a bunch of these like fairly big boxes and whatnot set to the side of the door, and John like kind of takes a peek at one of them. He's like, "Hey, Kirsten, can you and FX try and drag these in? Mari, we're gonna need a open room for him to get set up in."
Down the hall,
Sure.
third door to the left.
All right. And so they get him in there. They get him set up on the bed. And as they start opening these boxes, they've got like, you know, IV bag stand and a couple other like monitoring devices and whatnot. And so whose character is actually trained enough to help with getting this stuff set up?
Kirsten will.
I don't
The training,
think-
though, right?
What?
You're asking for the training, like what our ranks are, or what?
Just
who's willing.
Anybody whose character would actually like be comfortable enough to try and go and do this.
Yeah, I'd be there. I don't know how much help I'd be, but because I don't have any actual ranks in stuff, but I do have intelligence, so.
I also do not have actual ranks and stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. So.
I have 2.
Frida has 2. This is adorable. I'll bring up John's sheet.
I mean, I'm assuming this is medicine, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't have any ranks in that.
If we had Gladius here, he's got. Oh crap! I closed Harrison's sheet on accident. Harrison has a wisdom modifier of +10 and 5 ranks invested. Just for medicine.
I have a total of 4 for my bonus.
Yeah, me too.
There. Some of hers are from ranks. Speaking of Gladius, how's it going, buddy? We need you to make a roll.
We need Harrison.
I'm here.
We need you. We were just talking about you.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
And all your wonderful medicine ranks.
Yeah, that +15. The closest person behind you has got a wonderfully flattering +6.
And it was a +4 total.
Oh, medicine? Yeah, I've got medicine.
Oh, and I finally get to John's sheet. He has, for medicine, nothing. He has a +3 ability modifier.
I have a higher wisdom than John?
Yes, he's also, frankly, you also have a higher base intelligence. Because he has a 20. The difference is, he's 225 points, and 104 of them are invested in his magic array.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't remake him for the game?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not make him his own character sheet for this, because he's not super involved. He shoots at things.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so are you okay with if somebody just rolls for you while you're getting your stuff all set up, bud?
I'm here. I'm set up. What's going on?
Get on Roll20.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm not at all set up. Go ahead and roll for me.
1d20 plus 15. Okay, so what happened is they got back to the house. You're performing first aid on Atlantic whilst getting him hooked up to like heart monitors and shit. Rolled a 4, but with your plus 15, you got a 19. So congratulations, you're okay for the moment. You've successfully get him hooked up.
I haven't managed to kill him yet. Awesome. My terrible fucking luck.
Good job. You didn't kill anyone. I think that's actually a line from Scrubs.
Probably.
I would not be surprised. Let's see. I'm kind of curious at this point. How do they run the DCs typically for this? Because you may have actually done better than I was thinking. Provide care DC 15. Okay, so yeah, providing care means treating a wounded person for a day or more, or providing routine medical treatment is successful. The patient adds your medicine rank to any recovery checks. You can send up to your skill rank in patients at one time. Wow, really? When you just look at that, you could make a superpowered character where, like, what are you super at? Being a doctor.
I believe that we have conceived this character, Matt.
Did we?
He also has tentacles.
I was going to say that, like, it's better than, you know, being a lawyer.
I don't know. You could use that to pretty much, you know, end entire story arcs. It's almost like that's, you know, what happened with the Duke.
I was more referring to Harvey Birdman, but, you know.
Oh. Anyway, so. Yeah, so you successfully get Atlantic all hooked up. He's good to go. You've got the monitors on and everything. And everything at this point like seems stable for him. At which point John just who'd been kind of like loitering. Well, I guess first thing I should say is that's going to be like easily a hour-long process. Is anybody else doing anything of import during that time besides Pepper going and cannonballing into Mari's pool?
I'm gonna make sure everyone has food. And that we get clothes for Pepper. Actually. Oh dear.
Did Pepper take off any of her clothes before she got in the pool?
Oh yeah, Pepper transformed into like a bikini, I think, stuff like that. She doesn't need to take off her clothes. She just has Ziggy to shapeshift it for her.
That's true.
Okay.
She's like, Ziggy, bathing suit me. And then he like...
Exactly, and she had like a Sailor Moon transformation. And she like danced it out, like right outside the pool.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
she jumped in.
Oh my gosh, she needs to meet Lita.
Whoever this is, I bet she would love them.
Oh yes. Lita is my other character.
This is a fucking enabler.
Lita is a fashion designer. Sorry.
Save for when we get there.
I was gonna call Lita.
Okay, so while Mari's making sandwiches, she's calling up Lita saying, hey, we're back in town.
Yeah.
Okay, so, alright, Cassie, so if Mari's doing this, congratulations. You know
No! I'm just calling
ring,
her.
Motherfucker.
I'm not role playing with myself. I'm just calling her, telling her to get her ass over here.
No, okay. Who's calling Lita then?
That would be me.
Okay.
Okay.
I was about to say, I was gonna have Kirsten just call her dad, tell her that everything's okay. Just checking in.
Hello, Dad. I did not die.
Well, as I say, with the sheer amount of checking in that she's been doing for the last few days, I'm going to say just as a background element, Kirsten's dad is starting to get worried, and he's not hiding it anymore.
No,
Like,
actually, my whole thing was, since what happened to her, he is overly cautious.
Yes, and so he's kind of getting like, so like when she's like, hey, I'm gonna be going out of town for a few hours. Just wanted to let you know. He's like, why is this that big of a concern? What are you up to?
We're not up to anything.
Uh-huh.
We're certainly not some crazy kids.
At which point, the moment that she says we're not up to anything, he immediately knows who you're out with. He's like, oh no, what's going on?
Hang on a sec. From the pool, can I see this person on the phone?
No, you can't see people on the other side of a phone.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, can I see people like through the like? Can I see people through the window and like see that somebody's talking to somebody on the phone?
We'll go with sure. You see that Chloe's over there dialing somebody, and Kirsten's already on the phone chatting with another person.
Hey, are you ordering a pizza? Get pepperoni. I want extra pepperoni.
Okay, anyway.
Thank you.
Have we reached full critical mass now?
Nothing is happening. We're all fine. There's no broken bones.
sausage too.
Excuse me, guys. I'm gonna go outside.
Outside will make it harder for her to hear you. Or harder for you to block her.
Yeah,
The
'cause
pool is outside.
It goes inside and outside.
No, I'm going out to the front of the house.
Dad's just like, sweetheart, did you all pick up a homeless person?
Again, you forgot the again.
Yeah, it's like, you guys pick up a homeless person again?
In the strictest sense, yes.
Okay, I understand that you guys keep wanting to go to that thing down south called, like, what was it, Flaming Bro? It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying.
Stop.
Dad, how can you possibly mess that name up? You've done shows for them.
Okay, sorry, it's Flaming Dude. I understand, but that's not the point.
Aqualad, Flaming Bro, Matt.
No, it was Waterlad, not Aqualad.
Waterlad,
Because
Flaming
Aqualad
Bro.
is actually.
But might be, I'm working my way through the classical elements. The next reference is going to have to be, Dwayne Jackson.
The Wind.
Wait, do you mean Dwayne the Stone Jackson?
Yes.
That's this universe is Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Fuck yeah.
Are you sure he's not the Pebble?
Yeah, it's Dwayne the Pebble Johnson. That's his new name. He's
Okay.
actually really
The
small.
boulder is confused by this reference.
Oh my god.
There is. We're creating the Rock verse. There's every version of a Rock in this universe.
Oh my god. Anyway. Okay. So I understand that you guys enjoy getting to go to Flaming Dude. But you need to stop bringing people home. But you know what?
Okay, first off, I'm not bringing them home. I'm not the one that's bringing them home. She's staying at Mari's house.
Okay, how Mari chooses to express her sexual exploits is really not what my concern is. I just want to be sure
Oh
that
my.
you're safe.
I am safe.
Sad part is Mari's getting nothing out of this. She's got all these people in her home and she ain't getting any.
I am safe, and I am hoping to be home tonight.
Okay.
Digger is frolicking nearby.
Like out where Kirsten is?
Right on the front yard where Kirsten is.
She's swan diving in and out of the...
Enjoying
out of
getting used to having 4 legs, diving in and out of things.
Digger, are you having fun?
Yeah.
Wait, Digger can talk now? Did I just hear the background right?
Oh yeah, everybody's power evolved beyond FX. I mean, he's still a big robotic cat thing.
He trots up. Except for Mari. Mari is still a little robot.
And Ashling.
And Ashling.
And Momo.
And Momo. But he doesn't know about Momo, so that's okay. By the way, are you okay? You kind of you're frozen in a block of ice. You were frozen today. That's like the ultimate argument in Ender.
Did Digger just say that?
Yes.
Okay, Dad, gotta go. Bye. Click.
Wait. And I think that's where we'll fade out for the argument. Probably again the camera fading out with, okay, Dad, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Click. Digger, you son of a bitch!
What'd I say? I mean, you were frozen today. It is the ultimate argument in Ender. Yell it at anyone. Argument over. They can't top that.
Anyway, so cutting to the other phone call.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, so Lita's phone starts ringing.
Hello?
Hey. Hey. So, we're back.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot to unpack there. You should probably come over.
Just
Oh,
like,
we're at Mari's.
I figured that tends to be where everyone is hanging out lately.
It's really big.
Yeah. Is everyone okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, nothing happened to me.
Okay.
Everyone's physically okay, pretty much, except for Atlantic. Again, kind of a long story. That's why you should probably come over.
Atlantic. I forget how much Mari remembered. Did she remember everything? I think she did.
Yeah.
Oh. Shit. Atlantic?
Yeah, and not in the way you would think, but as in literally whole Atlantic from the old world. Not a man and the power Atlantic.
Oh. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I've just got to finish up a couple things here and I'll be on my way. Atlantic? Wow. Huh.
Yeah. So yeah. But everyone's fine except for maybe him. Physically anyway. There might be some emotional scars from being like frozen in blocks of ice or whatever. And we also made a new friend, kind of maybe.
Is it another homeless person?
Kinda. I mean, she was just kind of living in that cave, I think.
I was being facetious. Okay. Okay, yeah. You wanted a new dress, right? 'Cause, I totally got you one.
Okay, sure.
Why does everyone assume this character lives in a cave? She didn't live in a cave.
All right.
She literally appeared in the universe in that cave. She lived in the cave. Shut up.
Cave house.
It would have been impossible to live in that cave. They were like
Oh,
16 miles underground.
She could manage.
There was no food.
Oh, she turns her cat into a tree. I don't know.
Don't question it. Just accept.
Okay. Well, I've got something for you, and I'll be over as soon as I finish up here.
Yeah, okay. That's good. That's cool. That's yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Guess we'll see you soon.
All right. See you in a little bit.
Tigger looks at Chloe from across the room as she hangs up the phone and goes, see ya?
I will feed you to bindweed.
Chloe's got a girlfriend.
Yes, she does.
Hell yeah, dude.
Finally.
Good job.
John steps off the last step and he's just looking across at this whole mess with like Piper in the pool just getting like super fucking stoked and Chloe just sitting there all flustered like yes she does. John's just Mari, do you have any coffee?
Pepper is
Points
really
at the
proud right
espresso
now.
machine.
John just pours a cup and he just walks off with it. He doesn't put anything else in it.
It's just like
Excellent.
a cup of shots.
Yes.
Oh, someone said something about maybe ordering pizza. Maybe we should do that. That does sound good.
Thank you.
I got it. I'll put it on the food budget with the party bus.
I mean, I'm that might be like a little ethically suspect, but it's your job. So if you want to, go right ahead.
It's my grant money. I'll use it when I need to.
Okay, yeah, sure. That is fair, I guess.
Besides, the food budget is plenty. We did a good allocation for food budget.
To be fair, it is Jameson's food budget. I'm pretty sure most of his money goes to food.
I still have nightmares about that bill when you all went to Japan. It makes me glad that Phalanx is the one who bankrolls this.
I mean, just be glad you weren't there when we were demigods.
You realize that I had to support you guys.
His eyes get a little bit big at what some of the implications are of those statements, and he just goes straight to drinking his coffee, his espresso shots.
He meets John's eyes from across the room and goes, "I was a snake. I could have hinged my jaw."
And he did.
It had all sorts of practical applications.
I doubt that.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know about that last one.
I ate a microwave.
Okay. Okay, so I've been mulling over a thing, because I'm gonna steer the conversation away from that catastrophe of a headache.
Good choice.
It's okay, at least you weren't there.
Oh yes, I'm very glad.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Kirsten. How was the conversation with your dad?
Oh, it was going great until Digger had to open up his mouth.
I just asked if she was okay after being frozen today. What is the problem with this?
I was trying to assure my dad that I was fine. Nothing had happened.
Well, you
And
seem
did you wait
fine.
3.5 hours to ask?
Apparently.
It's been a long day. I kind of evolved today. I've been getting used to having limbs that are not nubs.
There was a 45-minute point where when Kirsten was taking a nap, her foot was giving you a belly rub.
I have a belly now, and not just like a pudge. That's amazing, by the way.
Whatever. Okay, so what I was trying to steer the conversation towards is so we beat that ice monster, and it was pretty evident that nothing existed on the other side of that door until it was defeated. At which point, it, I guess, unlocked that part of reality, right? Large things that exist kind of like a power would, but not. It's obviously not a power because it doesn't exist alongside of a companion. Which sounds very similar to Orochimaru then.
Yeah, we were kind of wondering if we found that beat him up, would a high pot fall out?
Well, there's one other important difference. Orochimaru was a distinct entity. Jotunheim is a realm with space and dimension of its own.
Yes, but defeating that giant that came through the doorway was the key to unlocking Jotunheim. So, if we beat Orochimaru, what if it unlocks more of reality?
But is
Or,
it?
or at the very least helps stabilize some of it.
But isn't Orochimaru part of the bad, or from the bad?
No, Orochimaru's history from our world was that it was created by Hypot, who was reanimated from death because of the bad, yes. But Orochimaru itself is not of the bad, which, even if defeating Orochimaru brings back the bad itself, the bad was one of the realms that ceased to exist when this wormhole happened. And from what I know of how our home worked, at least, things are mirrored a lot of the time. Not always, but if we got the bad back, we would also get the good, because they are in fact cosmically diametrically opposed forces. There's a lot of other realms that we could get, but what is making me wonder is, did defeating that giant just get us back Jotunheim? Which I understand this is a thing that I brought up earlier. Did it just get us back Jotunheim, or did it get us back all of those realms?
That's a question we probably won't know until Frida and Valkyrie can jump back and forth between realms.
Or we find the other key that we know of,
This is also true.
which we know where it is.
Hey Matt, I'm gonna make one of those to remember checks.
Go for it.
It's a will save, right?
Yes, DC 16, I believe it was.
Nope, didn't get it. Digger does not remember the Black Parade and does not remember that Orochimaru that we encountered was different looking than the one we encountered before.
Just as a plot point, that one had been at least addressed by some of the people with eidetic memory, because the one that you guys fought was Orochimaru itself, and your guys' original timeline and history and all that, Orochimaru had been dead for a long ass time. What you fought was one of its offspring.
Oh.
Yep.
I missed this.
It's all good. Okay. So, at this point, John continues on. All right. Either way, regardless of what it unlocks, ultimately, if we are able to bring in any more of any other reality, trying to help reality expand itself again, well, we would still need to go destroy Orochimaru, right?
That sounds reasonable.
And maybe Magmadon?
It's a good possibility, because Magmadon kind of does fit a lot of the descriptor of what we've noticed between now 3 instances of things like this happening. So, given that Magmadon was knocked unconscious and tends to kind of be, if our history is still accurate, tends to stay unconscious for a long time until it fully recovers. That was, what, a week ago?
Yeah, but didn't we just scare it away this time? Same with the Orochimaru? Or
No,
am I remembering
we beat it.
incorrectly?
We beat it. I was going to put a bullet in its head, but it sunk underneath the lava before I could make up my mind.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, Magmadon was knocked out. Orochimaru FX managed to scare the shit out of so that it ran away.
Yep.
So he actually looks over to Harrison. He's like, you know, with your long coat and the fact that we have Indiana Bones over there, I mean, if you two were to stand next to each other, you guys could be the poster children for a Monster Hunter movie, because I think that's what we're fucking in.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what a monster hunting movie is?
Guessing it has something to do with hunting monsters.
As a movie. Yes. Congratulations. Logical deduction there, Sherlock.
My favorite was Frankenstein Conquers the World.
What?
My favorite Monster Hunter movie, Frankenstein Conquers the World.
You know what? I'm not even going to bother
good.
you and your pop references, so... Okay, so right now, we know of at least 2 unaccounted for big things. Digger, if you started just pretty much trolling about through the mantle, assuming that this world has a mantle, do you think that you might be able to possibly find Magmadon's unconscious freaking body? Because for all we know, he could still be unconscious in that lava tube that he created in the park.
Yeah, I think I could do it. I'm not sure I'm big enough to drag the whole thing up myself, but I think I could do it.
You just kind of bite him until he falls apart.
My teeth aren't that big.
Yeah,
No.
but I mean, if he's not going to be moving and fighting back, then you have time.
I might just try to grab him by his ankle and pull him back up from the magma tube. That'd work.
Potentially.
Good.
But if either way, if you can try to find that, then that means that the only other thing because that's, as far as I'm aware, the only plan that we really can have for trying to find Magmadon, other than wait for it to wake up again.
Yeah, I don't want to wait here for how long did you guys say that it normally takes for him to wake up? Couple 1,000 years?
Not
100
that
years?
bad. No, it could be 4 to 5 weeks. It could be 5 to 6 months. I mean, when you guys ran into him a couple of years ago, it was, I want to say 15 years since it had surfaced. We don't know how long it took for it to wake up. But this gets us to the other big thing that we have to figure out. What do we do about Orochimaru? I don't know if we'd be able to bait it out, but I'm open to ideas if you all are.
Well,
If Orochimaru exists, what are the chances of his children existing?
I'm trying to not think about that.
also, if Orochimaru exists and that portal exists, does that mean that Hypot's City of Darkness exists?
I would
Like-
say probably, because those guys with the guns were wearing the insignia of the Cult of the Dark Father. So whether Hypot is actually there to be the actual figurehead of it or not, I mean, they could just be an extension of the religion that he had built around himself existing here.
Well,
Did they have insignias? I was a little too busy trying not to get shot.
yeah, they did. Hypot was in the other world.
Yeah, wasn't he one of the demigods under that death god?
Yes.
Yeah, David. He was an okay guy in that world. Not
A
the
little
complete dick that he was in the first world.
He was listening and very chill. And I wonder if we last Tuesday him, is he going to be the same? Or is he, like, if we do find him and no.
Yeah, that's the question we've all been kind of asking ourselves, though, considering how far he went, at least in the first world, to, you know, not die. I mean, getting him to help fix the world might be possible, since we're kind of unstable here like this.
Yeah.
I mean, assuming that we actually find the High Pot, the sorcerer, or whether it's the sorcerer or the lich, either way, I mean, worst case scenario is if it doesn't turn out that he's actually amicable to helping us, we could just try to subdue him. Not like it'd be any different from trying to deal with him normally. Other than the fact that we have enough crap to fight.
I was wondering if we found, I don't know if it would be easier to find Hypot or easier to find Orochimaru, but I figured if we found one, we might be able to find the other.
And possibly finding Orochimaru might be finding Hypot if, you know, it turns out he's inside Orochimaru, kind of like Atlantic was in that Frost Giant. I mean, these are all hypotheticals, but it's a possibility.
Were any of those cultists left alive? Or left restrained or whatever, where we could get to them?
A few of them died in Orochimaru's poison gas. The rest of them were arrested and taken into legal custody, which we don't have any jurisdiction here, so unless somebody's going to sneak in for an interrogation, I don't see that happening.
That was bad.
What?
Chat. That was bad.
I mean, we do have FX might be able to help us sneak in. Don't know for sure. But illusions and such might help with that if we really wanted to go with the interrogation route.
Out of character, Gladius, you should feel ashamed for that pun. To the corner with you. I hope you learned your lesson.
Do not like her.
Anyway,
I learned nothing.
Are we talking about breaking into a facility where there are cameras?
I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe, probably.
Yes, that is exactly what is being thrown out there.
This is FX. He goes, I am not entirely sure my illusions will work with cameras.
well, let's test it out.
Effects.
Yes.
Your Godzilla-sized Magmadon was on the news. It works.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
And you're functionally just creating controlled light.
I mean, we don't have to go this route anyway. Just saying. It's a
So you guys are
possibility.
talking about this. Rep. Goodbye.
Cassie, what just happened to Matt?
To be continued.
He accidentally went to the general bullshit channel.
I did not mean to click on that. I don't think I did that at all.
Anyway,
Anywho,
as you were saying.
Anywho, as you guys are chatting about this, you notice that Pepper has gotten out of the pool and she's got like a towel wrapped around her. She's like, "We're breaking into what now?"
It's just something we're discussing. Potentially.
Discussing potentially breaking into what? You know, who's good at breaking into things?
At the point of that comment, John just points straight at her and he just kind of smiles like a big smartass.
Yeah, that's right, me. I'm real good at breaking into things. You know, I can look like whatever you want. She like wiggles her fingers. So, maybe ask your girl here. She wants to do some like vigilante work or whatever. I'm down.
I mean,
Can't talk about breaking into like
break in.
he reaches over and flicks her nose. You can't even talk about breaking open a pint of ice cream without her getting excited.
I mean, come on. Break in.
We were talking.
Look at me. I'm Barack Obama. She snaps her fingers. She's like, "Eggy, turn me into Barack Obama." She turns into Barack Obama. She's like, "Look at me. I'm the president of the United States. I think we need to break into this place."
We're talking about potentially breaking into a prison to interrogate some
cultists. Just call them what they're all.
That sounds good. Ziggy, turn me into an inmate. She snaps her fingers again. Now she looks like just some dude that's done hard time. He's got stitches. He's got a bruise. "What's up? My name's the Beta. How you doing?"
So
we need to break into a place.
Ziggy.
I just want to ask. I'm sorry. He's got stitches. Does that mean he's a snitch?
Yeah, he's a snitch.
Ziggy turned into Dolly Parton.
Oh, I don't think we need to be worried about that, darling.
See, she'll roll with whatever.
Clearly.
For the rest of us,
I got Dolly with me.
For the rest of us, though, who can't freely change our appearance, and he gives a look to Lita
as she walks in the door.
What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
I live here now.
John just lets his face sink down into one of his hands as he's leaning back in his chair like, oh god.
He's not the only one.
Frida is beside herself with just like, oh god.
Hey, wait a minute.
Who's
was
this
that?
cat?
What?
Who's this cat? What's she doing here?
She's gonna make us some break-in and entering costumes.
Oh, excellent. Good. Nice to meet you. My
Lita.
name's Travis.
Her name's Pepper.
It's Travis.
Pepper
Ziggy
knocked it
Turner.
off.
I mean, if this is who they want to be, who am I to judge? But
Exactly. She's got the right idea. I like you.
Yeah, Ziggy, will you turn her back so we can actually get proper introductions?
Yeah, man. This thing's getting old. Shit. All right, sorry about this. Pepper snaps his like paw, and she turns back. Ziggy's still Dolly Parton though.
I like that Ziggy was still Dolly Parton, but went back to the scratchy voice cat thing voice.
Yeah, man. Shit, he can't keep that Dolly Parton stuff up forever. It's endless. I'm talking in the third person, obviously. I don't know why. Anyway.
Anyway,
Hi, I'm Pepper. Nice to meet you.
Pepper was also part of the Junior Hero Society program.
Oh.
Apparently she got in the same way I did.
Yeah, I got like a third place medal one time. It's pretty great.
Yeah, we literally found her under a rock.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Well, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's
Chloe
very
was saying
dramatic.
something about that when I was on the phone with her earlier.
Yeah, I thought you were the pizza guy. I'm sorry about that. I'm rude. Whatever. It's a whole thing.
I like her.
Thank you. Finally, that one, like, Thor lady doesn't like me. I already know that.
Wait, everybody look at Frida.
She doesn't say anything to defend herself.
Frida says nothing. Frida's actually texting on her phone.
Oh, thank God.
That doesn't mean she didn't hear you, though.
Never mind. I can't.
So you
Wait,
and
what was this
Chloe,
about
am I
costumes?
right?
Oh my god.
I heard you on the phone. You guys are cute.
At this point, Kirsten is going to turn around and join Frida on a cell phone.
Oh my god.
Lita's looking at Jameson.
Was that something she doesn't know? I'm sorry. I just guessed.
No, she knows.
Oh, okay. Thank God. I thought I ruined something. Oh.
Jameson
Deep
actually
breaths.
walks over and puts a hand on Kirsten's shoulder. You know that if we're breaking and entering, you're going to be involved. We're going to need an illusionist.
Then FX will be involved.
Lita's looking at Jameson. So, what were you saying?
That we might be doing some vigilante work involving breaking into a prison. And vigilantes need costumes to protect their secret identities.
Remember when you got blown up with a rocket?
Yes, I remember when I got blown up with a rocket.
Not you. You weren't in the building. Shut up. He's talking at Lita. Those cultists, some of them survived Rouge gas, and we need to go get information from them.
As long as you're not breaking them out.
No, that is not the plan.
Okay. Because I don't want to be blown up by a rocket again. That
sucks.
That hurt. I'm not used to getting hurt.
If they get their hands on another rocket, I will have Bindweed eat them.
I don't think anyone in the group is pro rocket. Don't worry.
Okay. I'm okay with this, actually. I'm a lot more okay with this than I thought I would be.
Failing.
Wait, which part?
The letting Bindweed eat them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I probably should not do things like that, but
Okay, just a moment out of character. I can't get the image of Lita basically like clutching her leg and going, "Ow, ow, this is pain. This is what pain feels like."
what I was thinking when I said that. I want my mommy. Someone maternal.
Can't shake that unobtainium.
Now, if this
Except-
had happened, knowing Lita's luck, the only one nearby when she says, I need someone maternal, would have been Jameson.
Oh, you know what? I think Harrison would almost be better. Because Jameson would just roll with it and try to be a smartass. Harrison would get this panic looked on his face like, oh shit, what do I do now?
I'm pretty sure Harrison was one of the closer ones to her at that point.
Yep.
I don't remember who was closest, but
Either way. So I do want to rope this back to the in-character discussion though. So Lita's like, I think I'm more okay with bindweed eating somebody who does that than I thought I would be.
I mean,
And so
it's not okay, but
Yeah, it's kind of a slippery slope, but
Just a little snack.
I
Piper,
mean,
you're
to
not
be
helping.
fair, what?
I was trying to tell Piper she's not helping.
The bite, just a little snack, a little taste.
It's just, I mean, to be fair, I sort of started down this road once already, so you know.
Twice.
Oh my god, yes, twice. Okay.
Love.
does what happened when we were gods count?
I think honestly that's the thing for each of you to decide individually. Because let's be honest, the basis of your personality was there, but you weren't. I cannot say that I believe it in the nature versus nurture argument. If I believed in nature, then Bindweed would have been sent to prison for the rest of her life, or just flat out executed for what happened in the past. Same for Piper. So I have to believe in nurture, which means that if your experiences at the time made you believe that your actions then were completely justifiable, then they were for who you were then. Because you had completely different lives. You were not the same people.
Or people.
I was so different then. To be fair. I mean, both times, honestly.
Yeah, and at which point he points across the room at Jameson. Case example. Jameson's never led a crusade in his life, and yet he purged a city over the course of a week of anybody who is causing street life to be rough.
I killed a bunch of pimps and gangsters because he asked me to.
Exactly. But my point is, you are not right now those people. And if you believe that you are, that is a thing that you have to correct yourselves.
To bring it around full circle, I think it's a little easier to distance myself from that, because real me could never eat a microwave.
I'm not convinced.
I mean, what would even be that in calorie
I've
content?
seen what you eat.
Well, since it's all pretty much indigestible, 0.
Good point.
Point is, we have a prison break to plan.
Right.
For the sake
Right.
of due diligence, are we certain yet that the prison doesn't have standard visiting hours?
Not for people that were involved in public shootings in a, well, at this point, John seems to be kind of rethinking it. Like, I'm not as familiar with whatever legal system actually exists here. So, out of character, everybody, take a look at your character sheets. Does anybody have points that would act in a skill that would actually help with this? Bindweed.
You mean civics?
Yes. It's like the
Why,
second
yes.
time you're getting to
Yes,
use
I do.
that skill.
I'm fucked up on bluff. I got tons of
Yeah, any skill where you would actually be able to know the legal process.
Guess that's me then. Would you like me to make your roll?
Yes, please. Your DC is 15.
Yeah, like that.
So I leave it up to you, Emily. Are there standard visiting hours?
Oh, I gotta decide.
You created this universe, damn it.
Oh, that's true. I did, didn't I? Okay, sure. Yes. The answer is yes.
And here we found out that Matt was hoping you were going to go the hard way and not just say yes.
Well,
6 in one hand, half dozen in the other.
I'm just gonna throw this out there though. Like, if we do go the legal way, then all they have to do is say, "I don't want to say shit to you," and then say they're done, and they can just leave.
This is
However,
true.
ooh, we could mix it.
And then we get to say,
We're not-
fine, we'll see you tonight.
I was going to say we're not gonna have to break in, but we could disguise ourselves as, you know,
Their lawyer.
their lawyer, or they probably already have that lawyer assigned, but we'd have to figure out who that is so we could look like them.
Hello, my name's Governor James Thompson. I'm
like
your
a
associate
Friend
attorney at law.
or
have-
an occultist.
That's what I was going to say. They may not know about the ones that didn't make it because of Orochimaru. They were all either unconscious or bleeding at the time.
What if you just send me on in there, sport? I'm here to talk about the law proceedings with them.
Because it's been over a week, they probably already have their attorney assigned.
Oh, you're right, sport. I should just figure out something else then.
But if we get a picture done up of the other cultists in the attack, we could say that they were simply being held at a different facility, have been acquitted, and that they needed to go talk to their friends.
Right.
So, at which point he turns to look at Miss Brainy Plate in her head and Miss Grainy Plant Person. I'll see myself out. Since they're the two with fucking eidetic memory.
Wait, what?
Do you remember what they look like?
I actually didn't get to see them. I was down on the ground.
Oh. Yeah, that's also a thing. I was also down on the ground.
Does anybody else think that they would remember enough of what one of these guys looked like?
Does
Oh, you mean the guys up on the roof? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
FX creates an image.
Yeah, but does effects have eidetic memory?
No.
wait?
So you would need to make an intelligence roll.
I've got it.
Hmm.
Myriad. Can you plug into the projector real fast? Show us some pictures from the fight.
And then he flies up and he plugs his butt into the projector and then it turns on and it's pointed at the window that's in between you guys in the pool. Way to be a fucking cheapskate and getting around the goddamn eidetic memory bullshit. I have literal photographic memory.
Hard drives.
In fairness, we won't know what they sound like.
Well, that's true. But it doesn't take much to claim a voice change for injury.
True.
Especially if you can, like, have a visible injury.
Creepy Cat joins the lineup.
Anyway, so alright, so if I'm following the plan then, we're gonna have Piper go in, looking like one of the cultists, to go and try and what exactly information are we trying to get out of these guys? Like when Orochimaru might come back, where it's hiding. Actually, I think probably what might be the best way to go about it would be, yeah, maybe that'll work. So, what about if Piper just asked them, hey, I got hit in the head. I can't remember much of what happened a couple of days before our mission. How are we going to get back?
That seems a sound option.
Actually
I
seems
really-
very...
Don't know a lot about this cult thing, though. That's the problem.
That's exactly your character. Good job.
Exactly, you're right, my character. I don't know.
I mean, that's...
What do you
Kind
guys know about the cult thing that could help me?
They, in this world, that's part of the problem. We're not entirely certain. But back home in where we all came from, I'm assuming that you don't remember much about your briefings about the Dark Father, but
Out of
Sure.
character, dump that exposition all over me. Dump it on me.
oh baby.
Oh, baby, I need it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the short version is the Dark Father is an ancient Chinese lich who is really good at necromancy and has an entire city hidden away somewhere. It's one, and pretty much the consensus is it must be underground because nobody's ever caught satellite image of it, and it must be protected from magical scrying because nobody has ever found it. And he's had this city for like a couple thousand years by this point, and it's populated with what? Who did we lose? Okay, Emily's back. Anyway, its entire population are pretty much. It's a theocratic city-state where he is their god.
Gotcha.
So
And
he
that's-
didn't have much of a change for the last game, did he?
No, not really.
Gotcha.
He was just a lot more chill.
He's really chill to the people that worship and serve him. Sure, everybody else can go die in a necromantic fire.
Sounds pretty cool, honestly. I think Pepper would pretty much dig that.
Anyway, so that's pretty much the gist of what John explains to you about the cult. Assuming that High Pot even exists here, the cult of the Dark Father, because the Dark Father is the name that he kind of goes by.
He's kind of a theatrical...
High Pot. Cool. He sounds real dope. You get it?
Get out.
Anyways, I'm down to clown with this. What does his cultist look like? Can you give me spin me a tail?
It's up on the projector on the wall.
I look at the projector and I'm like, what? Okay. Can you Can you give me some flavor? Can you describe to me what that would look like?
I don't know. This nameless cultist dude who's all like, for the Dark Father, and then he shoots rockets.
I'm gonna go with
look
He's
alike,
got
man.
robes, but they're like really crisp and black, and he's
Oh,
got a
no,
really sweet belt.
Okay, you're talking about his outfit. At
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
At the time in that picture, he was wearing tactical gear. Like,
Okay, sweet. Okay. Any
So-
symbols I need to know? Like anything cool like that?
yes, there's an insignia which looks pretty much like a. You know what? I can't even remember what the insignia was, but we'll say that there is one until I can go back and make sure what the fuck it was supposed to be.
Okay.
But as far as like the gist of all this, by the time you'd be done shapeshifting, you'd be looking like the dude, but like wearing regular clothes that he would have been wearing after getting released from prison.
Yeah, I think she looks super buff. I think she's got some cuts up on her. And she's
Sorry.
like, it's me. I think for extra effect, I think Ziggy turns into look like the dude from Mulan, like, you know, the little dragon, since it's like a Chinese cult. So I think he looks like a little dragon who's just hanging around on her shoulder. Do I look culty enough?
For the culty club?
For the culty club, yeah. Well, I need to work on my voice. Do I look culty enough for the culty club?
Do they have
I think you're doing fine.
Call me the boss.
I will say one thing about our group, looking around,
What up?
Ephemera was not going to expect this.
Nah.
No,
The boss sees all.
Especially not after what happened last time.
That's true. There was what, like 3, 4 of you in the room at the time? 3 of you? Now 7 of you all?
Well, I mean, you know, to be fair, I did try to bring a bunch of us together.
Yeah, good job. You succeeded in that.
Out of character, there were 4.
You know, nobody remembers that other guy.
The
Yeah,
boss
no,
says down with hero society.
Mario wasn't there
Yeah,
at the
Mario
end.
back home. That's why I was saying like 3.
It was still 4 because there was also what's her face, Precogna.
Oh,
He doesn't anymore.
Digger.
Shut up.
Yeah. When you're like, there were only what, 3 of you? Digger looks a little, or not Digger. Jameson looks a little sad and goes, "It was 4."
Right.
Yeah. There's that.
Don't worry, Jameson. I'm sure when we sort everything out, everything will go back to the way it was.
Hopefully. If this was a comic book, that's exactly how it would happen.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, this isn't fictional. This is
The
just
boss.
where you're at.
Going back to the morality discussion of before, if things do go back to, you're going to have to rethink that whole "is this me" nonsense.
What?
If you do return to your former lives, you'll still probably have these rolling around in the back of your head. You're going to have to decide who you are again.
Well, to go back to sophomore year philosophy class, to be fair, that's the thing you have to decide every day, isn't it?
In every life.
That's right.
So, as far as who we are today, Pepper's going to be Travis, the insane
The
cultist.
boss.
To figure out how to go get back home to the cult.
My name's Jimmy the Boss Newton.
Oh, you're
Oh
Jimmy.
my god.
Oh, you
Jimmy
sound
the Boss Newton shaked 50 guys in Louisiana. He'll shake 51.
I once
you
shot.
sound like the most Chinese man ever.
Hell yeah. My father's Chinese, my mom's German.
I went to shot a sheriff one day because I was too tired from shooting all the other sheriffs.
Yep. The boss.
I shot my whole posse just because my gun was getting heavy with all the bullets.
I wasn't keeping them alive wouldn't be boss enough. Boss. Kill them. That was boss.
Oh my god.
Piper, go visit the prison and go ask how to get back to the cult.
Alright, let me get on my hog. Okay, so Pepper.
At this point, Ziggy goes outside and turns into his motorcycle. Let me guess.
I have a question out of character. Out of character. How far can the power travel away from its companion?
Pretty infinitely. Like, they're disconnected.
No.
Everything she transforms stays that way.
Just generally, Matt. Like, could I send Digger along just in case she futzes up and I have to dig her underneath a wall?
The way that I probably the best way to answer that is, like, physically speaking, yes, you could put Digger on a plane, send him to Japan while you're hanging out in fucking France still, and it wouldn't really matter as far as, like, your guys' like connection and all that jazz, as it were.
Right.
Except for the fact that your guys' really only method of communication still is a vocal one. So they would be on their own, and it's one of those things that most people don't like, being that separated from their companions as a whole. It's weird. It feels off to people.
Digger, you want to come with? Got room for one more back here, buddy.
The little fox looks up. I'm severely tempted.
Do it. I don't want to just be role-playing with myself up here.
He does have goggles on.
Hell yeah. Get him up here. Get up here, big guy.
Alright, so Digger will go... Jameson actually looks... Actually, that might not be a bad idea. If she futzes this up, Digger can dig her underneath a wall.
Oh yeah, Digger. Come on, let's go. Get us moving.
Alright, so Digger goes along.
Jameson, do you want to go with them just in case things go wrong and they need somebody who actually can reach a cell phone?
I will follow in the party van.
Oh, get in the compartment seat. Get in the compartment seat. It'll be great.
This bike has
we
a
got
compartment
the side
seat.
It's like the sidecar. Yeah.
It does now.
It has a sidecar now.
Digger, I would like to just mention, because I would just like to mention, if you do that, someone at this point he just kind of leans down. He's whispering this into the fox's ear. If you do that, someone at some point later this week will say that you were inside of Ziggy.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fact. Yeah, man, she's right. That's gonna be true.
I'm not sure how to handle that statement.
Look, it ain't no thing. Just get in the car, man.
I'm just warning you now, letting you know. And then at that point, John.
I think that's the next line that you should say after saying that is, "I got candy."
I mean, I ain't gonna be here making no pedo jokes. We should be killing pedophiles, man. Fuck that shit. Get in the sidecar.
Okay, he gets in the sidecar.
Hell yeah, let's roll. Starts blasting metal and they take off and fling of smoke down the road.
Frida will actually interrupt before you leave.
Oh shit, hang on.
So, not that this needs to be done with any particular haste, but I have secured the permission from the Duke to take the other orb whenever we are ready. So, please keep in mind we need to schedule a time for us to have another road trip. +1.
Alright, I can do that. Boss makes his own schedule.
Why did Frida go from German to posh?
because sometimes I can't keep my accent in the right place.
You're alone.
The funny thing is, Matt was just commenting on that.
I actually muted my microphone so I could turn to Cassie and like, I don't know what accent that was. I just
That's because
So
as I'm unmuting my microphone, Josh.
I understand. So I really have a hard time with accents. So the fact that Frida has been relatively consistent is kind of a fucking miracle.
It's
So
really well. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, you're doing great.
I think I'm the only one who's consistently attempted a fairly heavy accent. Anyway, that one went straight wall.
every time I try, every time I try, Matt tells me to stop.
That's because everything you try turns into freaking Lopan Chinese. You can start Irish and end Lopan.
He's not wrong.
Oh, shut your faces.
Or
You either
go
go,
full Australian.
Australia, mate.
In
and
all
occasionally
fairness,
you try to go Russian, and I'm not sure where that lands.
It ends up Caribbean pirate.
No, Josh.
the one accent though I wish I could get back is, and I don't remember which group I did this with. Cassie, I know you were there. I think it was with the first group that we were role playing with. We did that one night, one shot, and somehow I ended up Jewish.
Yes, that was amazing.
That was like one of the best voices, and I can't ever do it again. I don't know what I did, but I wish I could. It
Matt,
was
where's
really
my
funny.
ice cream? You can't just get out the last ice cream sandwich and eat it in front of me.
Yes, he can. Watch him.
And tonight on Shadows of Titan,
You had that whole thing and I only had one.
on As the Ice Cream Sandwich Turns. Marital drama
Asshole.
erupts between Cassie and Matt over the last dairy cookie treat. How would you describe an ice cream sandwich without just calling it an ice cream sandwich?
Call it an ice cream sandwich.
That's exactly what I said
Frozen
not to do.
confection.
Lactose intolerant.
You can call it a frozen confection.
For one more frozen confection.
Anyway, so Ziggy gets turned on. Radio starts playing. I'd like to point out that Ziggy doesn't actually get turned because here's the thing. Ziggy is still made out of flesh, despite looking like a motorcycle. So this Ziggy doesn't have speakers. You just hear it speaking.
And trying to sing.
Yeah. So it's like trying to sound both like a motorcycle engine, like vocally, while it's trying to sing Dio.
He's
And-
blasting Holy Diver as loud as he can. The
As they
boss.
enter the driveway.
Let's hit the road.
You've been down too long in the midnight.
So, Jameson, how long you been with the Hero Society? You've been rolling with these cats for a while, then?
Jameson raises an eyebrow. Are you coming on to me?
Maybe. I don't know, man. Free road.
I've been with him about 2 years. I don't know. How far did you get into the whole like junior thing?
Oh, you know, man. You know how it is. Get third place, steal a couple things, get disciplined. They say, "Hey, Pepper, stop stealing shit," and you're like, "Listen, that's just who I am, man. Not very far."
To be fair, if we'd met before Hero Society, I probably would have racked your genitalia on a fire hydrant.
Listen. I'm 16. You could go to prison.
That's why I wear the mask.
Yeah, and I could beat the shit out of you if you try anything, so stop it right now.
Noted.
You want to get thrown off this bike?
Not particularly, no.
Exactly. So shut up and let's ride. So we're riding along, and like, she's like, hang on a sec. She does a sweet pull off to the side of the road, takes out a cigarette and starts smoking. You want one, Jameson?
No, I don't smoke.
What about you, Digger? You want one?
We do not smoke.
Being the boss is hard.
I bet the boss is hard.
Yeah. She throws out her cigarette and like gets back on the bike. Like, let's hit the road.
Best buddy cop movie ever.
They drive away. They like get
In what
McDonald's.
universe is Digger the straight man?
Hey, either you want anything from Mickey D's?
So
Wow.
So
Okay.
say that the rest of this happens in a montage.
Oh yeah, it does. They're eating McDonald's. Like there's an image of them bonding. They're like hanging out. And finally, vroom, vroom, they roll up to the prison, and Holy Diver stops playing. Like this must be the place.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
She rolls up to like a guard booth. She's like, "What up? I'm the boss."
Not of me, you're not.
What do you mean? You ain't ever heard of me?
Digger is like 300 feet back just watching this.
These are my bros. He's a spit hog. This is Little Mac. You decide who's who.
So Josh, is it Digger or Jameson that's 300 feet back or so?
It's both.
Okay. So it's just the boss and his bike.
Oh, it's just the boss. I called my car Spit Hog.
Okay.
How you doing, my friend? I assume you're a man. Yes, man, woman.
I
No.
can't breathe.
How do you identify?
I identify.
2018. You gotta ask.
I identify as what are you doing here?
What am I? Well, that's not a gender I've ever heard of. I'm here to see my friends. Friends of the boss, obviously. There's some pretty cool cats. They got locked up in here. I feel real bad about them. It's visiting hours and all. I just want to see my buddies, you know, my homies.
All right.
Uh,
What are their names and what are yours?
hang on a sec. Let me. Out of character, what are their names? Do I know? Is that something I know?
Just
Yeah.
make.
Myriad would have, or Mario would have gotten you information.
Okay, so the boss gives the guard their names very eloquently.
Just make it up.
my homies.
Roll with it.
Big Boob and Tiny Tits. I didn't give it to him.
Yes, we made that face palm. We start a counter for him now.
You have lost your make their names up privileges.
Very unfortunate nicknames, but I didn't make them up.
Yeah. I'm fully aware of Biggie Boobs McCarthy.
Yeah,
Alright.
real bad guy. Kill the man. Can you believe it? Kill the man. What a fucker.
Yeah, and you called him your friend. So what are you doing?
You got my boy Tiny Tit McGee in there.
Yeah, he was also in here for murder and arson and
Yeah, man. Yeah, wrong
And,
path. We went to high school together. You know?
so then why are you wanting to visit them?
Yeah, we were close. They were at my graduation.
Cool. So
High school
what?
was last year.
You know, it's just I care. You know, my heart. We kept in contact over the years. It's just a whole fucking lot of shit. You know, I care about my homies. We'll make sure they're okay. You know, the boss can't keep them safe out there. In there, I'm in here. You know, whatever.
So you felt personally responsible for trying to keep them safe, and yet they're both in here for murder, mass property damage, and arson.
Yeah, man, I lent them some money. They fucked up. They fucked up. Look, I'm an engineer in my free time. I'm straight laced. You know, and they got me some shit.
Anyway, you know what? Fine, whatever. And he pulls out a clipboard and he hands it off to the boss.
The boss just signed Jimmy the Boss Johnson.
Okay. So you fill out all this stuff. It takes you a good couple minutes. He's like, all right, one sec. And he radios things in. He gets it all filed and faxed and sent, and fucking who the fuck else cares? I'm never going to visit my uncle, so I'll never really know what happens through here. So, moving on. It's like an hour later, and you finally get like brought into this room, and the dude that gets brought in front of you is like he's in a wheelchair at the moment because one of his legs is all casted up. Or I should not in a cast, sorry, but bandaged up. And like you can see there's like around his knee and his lower leg is just all kinds of funky colors that should not be in a bandage.
Mm-hmm.
Yellows and greens and orange and red.
Just real funky shit.
Black in there.
Oh shit, hey man, you doing okay?
The hell happened to your voice?
I don't know, man. I've been smoking cigs. He opens up his jacket and shows his dude the cigs he's been smoking. It's a bad habit. Don't get into it.
How did you ever? What do you need?
I just wanted to see how you were doing. You seem like, I don't know, man.
I made my sacrifice for the Dark Father. Why are you here?
Yeah. Out of character, what am I looking for again?
How to get back to the rest of the cult.
Yeah, man. Shit. Look, shit was fucked up back then. You know, it was a tough time for all of us. I'm sorry you had to get in here. Fuck. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure you get out okay. All right. Look, I don't mean to like do whatever, but I have other reasons for visiting you while I'm in here. Look, when I was running off a little while back, I kind of ran into a bit of trouble. Hit my head pretty fucking hard. And,
yes, I believe you fell off of the building after we attempted to assault them.
Yeah, I did. Look, I want to get back. I want to get back there and figure shit out and find out if there's anything I can do, anything else I can do to clean up this fucking mess we left. You know, the boss doesn't leave any bad shit behind. We were shit. Fuck. Sorry, you'll have to excuse me. My memory's a little bad. Fell off a building. And
so I want you to go ahead and roll your bluff.
Okay. So hang on a second. Let me look that up real quick. Would this be Ziggy's bluff skill or her bluff skill?
Peppers, because Ziggy's not the one trying to lie. Ziggy is pretending to be a motorcycle in the parking lot.
Oh, okay, that's just a +9. We're good. Hang on. +9, so that's 27.
Yeah, okay. This motherfucker is absolutely convinced that in a week you developed enough of a smoking habit to suddenly sound like you've been throat fucked by a fucking ox.
The boss!
Anyway,
Emily, don't
Oh my
die. Emily, don't die.
so he leaned.
I do it when I'm grown.
So he starts whispering into the into the little phone dealio. If you wish to return to the masters, you must make the sacrifices and call out their name, and they will hear you.
What are the sacrifices again? Sorry, I forget initiation.
You really hit your head very hard then.
Yeah, it sucks.
To pray to our great master, you must invoke his name while making a sacrifice of blood in his honor.
Okay. Kill a motherfucker. Pray to the guy. Got it. And that's how I find the place again, right? That's how I get back there.
Ideally one that has not sullied a mother. The more innocent they are, the better.
Okay. Kill a man. And that will help me find where I'm supposed to go, right?
Yes, they will come for you.
Okay. Is there any way to find it on my own? Like, can I put this in Google Maps or something?
No.
Fuck, I gotta kill another dude again. Shit. Alright.
We must always slay the impure in the name of the master, that this world may become better in his darkness.
Yeah, fuck those impure guys, am I right?
I would not attempt to sully my manhood with such a thing.
No, I don't mean fucking that way, dude. Jesus.
Then I do not believe I understand.
You fuck them up, you know? It's a saying, fighting your fists.
I believe that is called punching. Those are two separate words, for they have two
Well, the
separate...
boss says it's fucking up.
This is why you got demoted.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't.
Alright, man, look. She, like, takes out a,
Digger should have walked
one of
in
those,
with
like,
her.
something from McDonald's. It's a burger and a wrap. I got you something. I'm gonna go see if I can get this into you. It's a McDonald's. Do you eat McDonald's?
No, I do not. And I believe
Okay,
for you to be
that's
putting
fine.
in any context.
Okay, no McDonald's for you.
I
then.
believe that
Cool.
your head was struck far too hard.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Was able to bring you back into our true darkness.
Yeah, that'd be pretty metal. Listen to Dio on the way here. That's some good shit. It's as dark as I can get right now. I want to get some, like, Slayer dark. Alright, sir. I'll be seeing you around. I'm going to do everything I can. Alright, I'm going to talk to some people. I'm going to find you some guys. Alright, I'm outie. Peace,
May the
brother.
dark moment
Peace.
guide your path.
Yeah, peace, brother. Peace. You too.
He hangs up the phone and seems kind of he seems genuinely concerned for your well-being. Like, I don't know, like, you can just see the look in his eyes of like, I don't know what happened to you, but I hope that you get better. It's that kind of look.
At that, the boss, with a nod, gets up from his seat, walks up with a confident walk, looks at some people sitting down and waiting, gives them a tip, ladies, and walks out the door back to his hog.
So Jameson and Digger see the boss come out, get on his bike. Josh,
And
did you?
will,
I think Josh is asphyxiated. Just for those of you at home who can't see our Discord chat, let's see. Group text from Jameson. Well, she seems to be doing well. That was like 10 minutes ago. Reply from Kirsten. Great. Let me know when things inevitably go south. Reply from Chloe. A thumbs up with the fucking okay sign. And then it's a whole bunch of shit here of just, everyone dying of laughter, apparently.
also now, Now Ziggy is blasting Rough Rider as loud as she can from the car.
So,
Like,
so as they get out, Jameson is waiting. Oh, cool.
DMX's Rough Rider blaring.
We, I guess we didn't have to dig you out. That's good. This is good. Competence is good.
Nobody takes out the boss.
Okay, you can drop the persona.
Nah, not till we get home.
Okay, you can have it your way.
And they roll on back home and they have more adventures. Like,
Oh my, more adventures.
on the way home, like I think like she is like going like 80, she sees some cops, she breaks it, and she's like, oh shit, I almost got fucking busted again. And like DMX's Rough Riders has been playing on loop the entire time, so that's now in your head. So by the time you roll up to the thing with the boss in front, like, you put her to a stop, she turns the key off the ignition, she's like, that was a good trip, huh, Jameson? Feel like we really bonded back there.
Jameson and Digger look at each other. I am exhausted. Do you get that often?
You know, that's how Rough Riders roll.
You are a method actor, aren't you?
Damn straight. I'm the boss.
Okay, let's get inside.
Alright, let's do it. She turns the key in the car and turns the car off. And Ziggy transforms back into a cat.
As they're walking, Digger looks up at Jameson and goes, you know that I could have just, like, probably moved us faster than the bike just by, like, digging us there?
That's not how Rough Riders roll.
He's a fox. He could go rough.
Jameson and Digger in unison go, that's how we roll.
You get it. You get what the boss is about. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop being the boss now. It was fun last time. I made a good boss, though, right? You like the boss?
Did you get the information?
Yeah, I gotta, like, kill an innocent person and be like, praise you, cult god, and then they'll come find me.
So I'm going to assume that it's like praise Hypot, the Dark Father, etc., etc.
Yep. All that shit.
Did you get anything specific in that regard? Like,
no, we just gotta go smoke a motherfucker.
Any definitions of what innocent? Because I don't think anyone in that room is going to be
person.
Innocent person.
Yeah, real innocent, like baby.
Hunt, Piper.
What up?
At this point, the little purple and white candle thing like floats over in front of her. I want you to hug Mage for a moment.
You want me to hug Mage?
Yeah, just give Mage a hug.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
Oh, hey,
I'll
John.
give you a hug.
What are you doing out
Mage
here?
a hug.
Okay, at which point, Mage, like, its eyes start glowing for a second, and then it just drops her memories of the entire discussion into everybody's head.
Oh, excellent. Instant exposition.
Warn somebody first. Jesus fucking. Oh my god.
And now everyone has first-hand knowledge of how to be the boss.
That's what everyone needs to know.
We need to find you the tea video.
Maybe I can teach this one how to have fun.
Wait.
She knows how to have fun.
Not like the boss.
Do you see the number of girls in this room? They all know how to have fun.
That's what they just want to do.
At which point, John's just kind of smiling at the group, like,
No,
I
John.
get it.
No. That's my stick.
Funny.
It's my stick, John. You get out.
I like this guy. He knows what's
you know
up.
what? Jameson, I remember you at being 18. It's my generation. Shut up.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Just gonna.
I don't know if
Man.
you guys yelling at me or not.
It's times like these that I miss being a plant.
Times like these that I miss being able to portal myself wherever I want.
Do you mean a
Find we
plant or like a plant god? Because
Times like this, I miss alcohol. Who wants some?
Let's be honest. First of all, you can't have any. You're on your antidepressant meds, and let's be honest, Chloe just wants to go back to her roots.
okay, we discussed this. This medicine isn't affected like by the alcohol as much, so we can have a little bit.
See, I'm aware of the facts. I'm trying to be lighthearted.
Just saying.
Aw, Mari.
Good.
Trying to mother like the group. You can be new base mom when we get home.
Or not. I'm already having a weird enough time being older than everybody but you.
That's true. You were the baby, weren't you?
I wasn't
You were the
baby. I was just one of the younger ones.
You were the baby.
There were others younger than me.
Who?
The only other person that had ever been assigned to the Hamburg base that was younger than you was the fucking angel, because he was about 5 months old.
He was the biggest baby.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
What, do we really have to talk about Poultry Boy again?
Oh, we always gotta talk about Poultry Boy. How was he doing, by the way? Or was doing?
I was going to say right now. He'd been doing okay. Also, Emily, that picture is wonderful.
Alright, so I really hope that what they meant by innocent is not actually a person. I hope that means we could just like cut open a dove or something.
That also sounds horrible.
Alright, so here's... From what I remember about the cult at home, they are quite literally more concerned about the presence of blood in their magic than they are the loss of life.
Oh, yeah. You did say innocent blood, not innocent life.
Mm-hmm.
The boss just sort of went with
specifically a and interesting.
Well, and then here's the other thing. We don't know if they will come to try and find them, like to find the person who makes this calling, as it were, or if that's what ends up calling Orochimaru as backup for that same mission, whatever it happened to have been. So, if we assume that they have the ability to scry the location beforehand,
then we better have an illusion up when we do it. And hope they don't see through it.
There you go. We sacrifice the boss to summon whatever the hell this is going to be.
They did say they'd come for us.
Yeah, that seems pretty, like, weird. think I blew my voice out a little bit.
Morgan, I just want to let you know I appreciate your commitment to role-playing this character.
Oh, I'm committed as fuck.
You sacrificed your throat for this.
I did. I've done worse.
And, I mean, I imagine there was more fun ways to do it, but I think this was probably a close second.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Are you okay? You
Hell
sound like
yeah.
you're in pain.
Oh no, it's cool. I stretch my voice all the time. It's fine.
Don't you snicker, Matt. That
His
woman's
hand
in pain.
over his eyes.
Doesn't mean I can do this.
And then I can do this. So it's like, it's
Don't
really
stop.
vague, honestly.
Stop. You're gonna hurt
Why?
yourself.
I'm not hurting myself doing this. Actually, yeah, I am.
Okay, I can remember. It's cool. I'm stretchy.
Morgan.
It's my thing.
That was Slayer.
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay, trying to get back into character for this. Okay, so John's like, alright. So we have to pretty much, praise the Dark Father, etc., while burning up some, while making a sacrifice of some blood.
Basically. All hail David.
What I'm all right, so I'm trying to think about how, like, where the magical method would be here. They probably have some sort of artifact back in their city thing and whatnot that has a contingency where, when it is called in these particular methods, it allows them to see what is where, so that then they can use whatever it is that they do to create their portals.
So we're probably gonna have to be in costume.
In costume, or as you look at effects, not there.
Wait, say that again?
Either we'll all have to be in costume, or and then he looks at effects. He just says, "Not there."
Or I could just make it appear that everyone's in a costume.
True.
It would be a little strange if the ritual had no one in it.
Well, what I was meaning was there's the person making the call, but then, the rest of us there in surprise. Because they only sent like 6 people in the first place, so not all of us are going to be able to be visible anyway.
That's true.
And that's assuming that they don't actively know that some of their guys are dead. I think our best bet would be to have one person do this little sacrifice deal, make the call, and then once they open it, hope that they just send Orochimaru through to go finish whatever job that they had intended it to do. Or, barring that, if they just open it for somebody to try and go back home to the cult, we could try to fight off the cult and find Orochimaru and kill it and then come back.
I mean, I don't think we have a lot of choices. I suppose the third choice would be just wait and hope something happens, but this does sound like our best option.
I like the idea of trying to be reactive.
Proactive.
Yeah. I would, for all of this mess, I would much rather be proactive than reactive.
Yeah, well, I agree. And that's why I said it does sound like our best chance right now. The second of the two of those does not sound such so healthy for us, but if that's what it's going to take, I guess we could just attempt to take on the entire cult and Orochimaru.
Yeah, that's I don't like those odds.
Digger, can you can't believe I'm asking this. Can you procure a lot of weaponry?
I'm a geologist.
Yeah, but you also fight Nazis.
They're not Nazis.
You know what? They might as well be. Your entire life is like a freaking Indiana Jones movie.
Well, yes, but it's also 2008.
There are still Nazis. They're just not, German Nazi Germany Nazis.
John looks over to Frida.
We need to be specific about this. They're not Nazis. They're neo-Nazis. They're different.
I could not hear what John said.
He looks over to Frida as if like silently apologizing, knowing what people from Germany actually respond to people talking about the Germans and the Nazis in the same sentence at all, even if
she looks absolutely aghast and just actually leaves the room.
Well, at least it was me who said it, and so she's not any matter at anybody else.
See, it's important.
I'm gonna go after Frida.
Oh God!
Get on her
oh no!
Oh shit!
Okay.
Hey, you okay? That was kind of jerkish of them.
Unfortunately, it is about as much as I can expect anymore.
Okay. Yikes. Holy shit.
Ow, Annie. Ow.
Frida's not necessarily wanting a confrontation, but she's going to be truthful.
That's fair. I think she's like, I mean, look, I know that, like, whatever, I'm me, obviously, you're you, but I want to tell you that you're, like, really important to this group, and I think that without you, we would all be a bumbling mess, kind of like me.
She's looking at you very hard, like, why are you saying the words?
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm here for reassurance. You're wonderful, and I appreciate you, even though I think you hate me. Okay, bye. This is awkward. Bad decision. I'm outie. See ya.
Wait.
What's up?
You make a lot of presumptions.
I mean, I just go with the information I have. I kind of, had a rough time growing up, and you have to, like, learn with, like, the code, you know what I mean?
Have you ever learned to just stop and listen? And not just open your mouth before you say things?
Not really. Here you go again. I mean, I don't know. I don't really read this too well. I'm not getting good vibes here.
No one's I mean, I've been here since you showed up. Do you even understand why I'm upset with all of them? Why this is not a comfortable situation?
They're just being jerks, man.
No, it is not just that, though that does not help in any way, shape, or form. First off, so have you come to catch on to the fact that not everyone in this world understands what we are? That this is a false reality?
I mean, I just kind of thought it was another day. I really didn't know.
Well, let me give you some facts then.
Cool.
You've caught on this is an alternate reality, yes?
Uh-huh.
Okay. For most of the people in this universe, they don't know that this is the alternate reality. This is life. This is everything they ever known.
So it's basically just like how things were, but
No,
worse, maybe.
things are different.
Worse. In some sort of way.
This is a very dependent thing. Things change for most of us in very significant ways.
What about you?
In this world, I have a different family than what I had back at home.
Really?
In our other world, my mother had died. I had a brother, a sister, and my father.
Mm-hmm.
In this world, I have found out that other than the fact that my parents are not together, I have no siblings, my mother is alive. And do you want to know how Chloe treated me about this issue to try and placate her own need for everyone to know this because I was in ignorance?
What happened?
She asked me, how was my mother's funeral?
Ooh. You want me to tell you something? This might sound weird or whatever, but I kind of get it. My family dumped me on the street when they found out about me, and that's been whatever. But like, I know what it's like to lose a family, and I'm sorry to hear that about you.
It's not just losing it. If we fix the world, if we fix everything, I'm killing my mother again because I'm choosing to erase her.
That's fair.
And I understand absolutely irrevocably why Chloe did it. But she is so self-centered in the way she does things.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how friends act.
I suppose
And
not.
there was no compassion. There was no caring. There was her need to fix her situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she did not know how for me in particular, this would resonate.
Yeah.
And I don't know you well enough to discuss this in any further detail.
That's fair.
But please understand that this is not a happy partnership, collaboration. I am here because there is a job to do. I am here because if we don't do what we need to, everything could simply cease to exist.
Then let's not let that happen.
But don't pretend like I get to just stand there and be happy, chipper, little Miss Prissy bitch for everyone else.
I don't think anybody wants you to be happy. They just want you to exist. Say what you mean.
Archmage made it fairly clear that I was to get over my shit. So, please allow me my space.
Okay, I just figured I'd ask because sometimes it's nice to talk about things, but you clearly want your space, so I'm gonna go back over this way. I'll try to stop the whole end of the world thing because that sounds pretty bad, but I'm gonna go back with the rest of the group. You join back up when you're cool. I don't want you to hate me. I'm 16. I'm dumb kids. I'm sorry. I'm out. And she just goes back to the group.
Frida just turns around and takes a really deep breath. So she's just going to stay out there for a while. So I would, unless someone else is going to come in and talk to her, That's probably where she's going to stay for quite a while.
I think Kirsten might. I'm still thinking, though. Did I lose connection again?
No.
Nope, you're
Okay.
here.
Sorry, the Roll20 thing said I disconnected, so...
I've been getting the same message.
Okay.
Little bitch.
You know what? Sure. I guess Kirsten will come out too, because I don't think the whole talking about using innocent blood or sacrificing, just doesn't really sound all that pleasant.
Not seeing who walked out, she starts just sighing because she hears the footsteps. I said I asked for some space. And she turns, oh, Kirsten, my apologies.
You can have space. We can stand out here together and just be quiet. We can even face away from one another. This whole situation is getting a little too dark for my liking.
No, the subject matter was far from pleasant. So, want to go home and see your father, make sure he was all right with your safety?
I want to go home, but Digger kind of ruined that for me, because I really don't want to have to explain to my dad why I was frozen in a block of ice.
Say it was a game? And ask him to not ask questions?
I'm not entirely sure how that would work out.
You can always make up a drinking game for everything.
Maybe. I mean, at least I'll get shit-faced enough to where I won't have to answer any questions. Or it'll just be blurted out because I have no inhibition. So how are you holding up?
One thing I have had to learn to do for performance is you breathe and you move. I keep breathing, I keep moving.
That's not really what I asked.
I hoped you wouldn't notice that.
Years of therapy, remember? I know how to deflect.
I know what we're supposed to do. But that doesn't mean I want to jump to doing it.
Believe me, I understand.
Yeah, well... I don't know what else to do but breathe and keep moving. There is no good answer here. And if discussion like that is how it's seeming to go, apparently there's not many courtesies that need to be considered anymore.
It still feels so wrong, though.
Which part?
Innocent blood. Let's start there.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
I mean, fighting giant monsters? Sure, I can get behind that 100%. Summoning giant monsters, there's an issue with that. Or potentially summoning giant monsters.
You don't remember Hero Society, I know this, but
No, I don't.
even with that, you know to a degree who we were fighting for justice, what was right. When Valkyrie was part of me, justice and protection were the things that became innate. Justice is cruel and harsh, and that was part of who I became. But there were lines.
Are you about to cross one of those lines?
I would much rather that we find other options to try and pursue before we take this. We know the door is that door is there for us to follow if we wish. And I am not beyond the belief that we should do what we must. Because in the end, that is the thing to do. But I think we should look for other options first. But they are all seemingly very adamant that we should follow this. And I am, to a degree, beyond caring.
Hang on a second. Matt's messaging me. Frida, we're friends for the most part.
Yeah?
I know John told you very harshly to get over your shit. But I don't. I'm not even sure how to phrase this without. Have you? I mean, you've been angry. I don't know. My mind was wandering.
It's okay.
Because trust me, I'm in the same boat. I don't know what us doing will bring for me when the reality is reset. And that terrifies me.
I wish I had words for you there. But there are no guarantees. Hopefully you'll come back with us, and I wish I could say something more for you on that.
Can I make an observation? Not that I've ever lost. Well, that's not true. I did lose my mother. If my mother was alive again, I would spend as much time with her as possible. Because you already know whether you acted or didn't act, the outcome will still be the same.
She looks very torn. She's a ghost.
I know. But you don't even have to act like. Just enjoy her company. Remember the good things. It's like a second chance.
A second chance with an expiration. My mother is not blind. She'll prod. She'll want to know why the change in my attitude. There's no good way to tell that to someone, as they have so jovially referred to it. What is last Tuesdaying someone who's dead?
Then don't last Tuesday her.
I awoke Trill flippantly without caring or realizing it. All I jokingly said is that at least she didn't have the paperwork or remember her paperwork, something. And that did it.
Wait, out of character, does she remember?
Her mom?
Yeah, I forget.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Sorry, I just totally blanked there. I was like, wait, she knows?
Uber twist. Her mom knows she's dead the whole time. She wasn't. It was realist in the Sixth Sense.
And Digger did it. And Digger did it behind the scenes the whole time.
Look, if you want to do something without raising any suspicion, maybe you and your mom can come out with me, my dad, and my bitchy sister, and we could just go do something before this is all over.
We can always see.
I mean, trust me, like I said, I'm struggling with all of this, and Pepper certainly isn't helping. She's kind of annoying, but it's one more person that remembers everything and is seemingly connected to all of you, but I'm not.
Well, connected is a little loose. The organization they were part of, we were a global organization, and well, just presuming you had the same names for things, we were stationed in Central Europe, where she was stationed in, I believe it was a Gulf town in the Gulf of Mexico, something like that.
Oh God, she was close to me.
Well, So we did not know her prior to this other than John.
Wait, did you say Gulf of Mexico?
Yes. Wasn't she from Louisiana? New Orleans?
Frida?
No, Pepper.
Oh, kind of. Like Florida was a significant part of it.
Oh, okay. I thought she was stationed though out of.
Oh no, we never determined where exactly she was stationed. I haven't
Oh,
found that out yet.
okay. Scratch that bit. It never happened. So, I
know, but it's one more person that was affiliated in some way.
it's it's any consolation as of right now in this particular moment in time. I like you far better. She's giving you like this. Please kind of laugh. I'm trying hard.
Well, I'm managing. The antidepressants help. Do I need to give you a little blue bippy?
I'll survive. A little schnapps maybe would be better.
I get you one of those.
Promise.
I promise. Just as long as I can crash at your place tonight, because Dad's gonna kill me if I go home tonight.
You're not drunk. Why would they care? Oh, the block of ice thing.
Yeah, the block of ice. Yeah.
Keep telling him. Tell him.
Putting myself into danger. Yeah, no.
Convincing him it's a drinking game is probably your best bet. Just saying. So, you obviously can stay, though I do apologize. I don't have much of a comfy couch for you.
I've already slept on your couch once. I'll make two. But we should probably get back in there.
We have to.
Do you really want them making all the plans with the innocent blood?
You and I can have clean hands then.
Oh, why do you have to make it so enticing?
Because it is.
Maybe the planning is over.
If there is a goat.
If not, I'll buy you 2 bottles of schnapps.
Well. Are you sure we have to go in?
Yes, we do. Because out of character, we've been taking up way too much time.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Keep going. I am sure that Matt is sitting with a bulge in his pants right now. Keep going.
Not really.
Wet pants.
So, how about we sneak in and try not to be noticed?
We can do that too.
Okay. Quietly follows you back in.
I think everyone's in the same place except for Jameson and Digger are not there right now.
Okay. So when you come back in, partly because of the hour, but most of the group by this point has probably like split off to go and kind of do some of their own things with most. And when they come walking in, John's sitting there, and well, I guess first of all, Morgan, are you back yet?
Yup, I'm here.
Oh, okay, so what do you think the short answer would have been if he was like, so what did she get upset about, in particular the Nazi thing?
Just some stuff. Maybe like, I think maybe you guys put a lot of like pressure on her, and like maybe she should be allowed to like feel how she feels. She told me somebody told her to like stop feeling something, and like that kind of sucks. I'm not naming names, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just
at this point, I feel like everyone's now looking at John.
We talk about our feelings here.
That will be a thing that I will talk with her about then, because I did not tell her to not feel.
Well, she felt like you did, and that's not really fair.
Discuss that with her then, because that's not what I had said, and she has been in a tight spot, and none of you have ever been told to not feel things, because that's what I tried to do, and that's not how she took it. So I will have to try and do better. But
I feel like this is the moment where like your actions have consequences shows up. I'm like, I either fucked up or I did a good thing, and I don't know yet.
Yeah. Anyway, but thank you, Pepper. I will talk with her later. But as far as because this is going to be a little bit back in the past a little bit, where while more conversation has been happening outside. The one with the lights. Anyway, so John kind of continues like, okay, so as far as the magical side of things, this whole innocent blood thing, keeping in mind how backwards High Pot's cult is, innocent blood could... It's all hyperbole. You have to think about how over the top their cult leader is. Everything ends up having to have far too many adjectives. Innocent blood could pretty much just mean that absolutely nothing. I mean, unless he is actively working with some sort of spirit that is opening these portals, where it believes that there's a particular flavor to the blood or some sort of nonsense. Blood is blood. It doesn't matter. Some spirits who like to try and use physical things as a currency might prefer one over another, but just for use and spell work, it does not matter. We could go to a blood bank, go get 5 gallons, and be done.
So we don't gotta pop a bitch, is what you're saying.
No, but because as far as his cult would be concerned, yes, that's exactly what they would do, because that's what he has brought them up to do, to be an army for him to go and kill anybody that he wants. So yeah. as long as we can get a hold of whatever would be considered a sufficient quantity of blood that the monitoring spell is able to pick up on this, then we should be fine.
That does take the strain off.
Yeah, and that's ultimately what I was trying to get into before Digger started running around the room asking about where the espresso machine was. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that they stepped outside, because I was not emotionally prepared for Digger today.
Digger pokes his head around the door. I did not look for the espresso machine. Stop telling your lies. I have big ears and I can hear really well.
You know what you did.
You know what you did. Disappears again.
I don't know what either of them did.
I cannot wait for those two to be one thing again. It's so much easier to deal with.
Is it though?
Yes, Jameson actually understands this term, self-restraint.
Does
A
he
little
though?
bit, anyway.
It's a lot better than what Digger's got at the moment.
Digger is a lot of energy compact into a very tiny body. Right now, at least.
Fast.
I just sort of assumed it would be one person that's twice as that.
No. He's... when Jameson takes the mask off, he gets far more reserved. Like, literally, when you look at Jameson and Digger, that is exactly what they were like from before all of this. When he is Digger and he's on the job, he's super high energy, he's super out there, and enjoys being over the top and silly. And when the mask comes off, he becomes far more joking still, but far more reserved and less out there. Part of it's because he doesn't have the bandana to hide his blush anymore, but, that's besides.
Out of character, you could call it what it is. He is socially inept.
He's trying to be nicer than that. But anyway, so we'll say that at that point, that's when Kirsten and Frida come back into the room.
Trying to sneak in, not making eye contact. We're not here.
Make a stealth roll.
Oh, shit.
Both of you.
Shit.
Hey, I have a +6 in that.
Don't fuck up.
Shit.
Oh, oops. 1 second. Rolling it through this.
Not terrible, but I probably didn't make it.
Fucking Harrison, just to prove the fucking point.
Harrison notices all the things.
Harrison woos your bulge.
Peach Sona.
Jeez.
So when you open the door, Harrison is already staring directly at you.
Not making eye contact, can't see you.
Tom looks over too. He's like, "Oh, hi guys."
Hello.
Shit.
So I believe that the plan is that we were going to go buy from a blood bank.
Do they?
And
Do
we
that?
just, at that point, we need to just figure out a place where we can potentially try to throw down with Orochimaru, where we're not going to go kill like large swaths of a forest or a city block.
So no to the vampire plan.
What?
The vampire plan.
Okay. You do not need to have Ziggy shapeshift you into a vampire when you go into the blood bank. It's not that kind of a bank.
I want to buy your blood.
Oh my god.
Please.
Mari, do you have any garlic in the kitchen?
Yes.
Can you please throw some at Pepper?
Kitchen is downstairs.
I already got 2 spices, pepper and garlic. It's a perfect combination.
Pepper, I do not have the time to put up with your jokes.
Oh my god, no.
You don't have the thyme?
Oh.
At that point, Kirsten's gonna slowly start backing out of the room again.
Frida grabs your hand.
You're
like,
only encouraging her.
Free to let go of my hand.
You're the one who said we couldn't stay on the balcony.
God damn you!
Pepper looks over really disappointed. She's like, failed again.
Anyway. So, at the plan, we just need to find a location. At which point, we need to stick it to Orochimaru as hard and as fast as we can.
Pepper's on that Google Maps stuff. She's looking up blood banks.
Alright. Alright, Pepper. You and Harry get on the finding the blood bank. Actually, no. Pepper, Jameson. Jameson, get in here.
Dream team back together once again.
Jameson. H, go get Jameson.
I know some places where researchers can get blood.
Digger.
It would be a lot less fishy than trying to go to like Red Cross or something like that and buy blood.
That would be legit, actually.
Okay, so Mari,
Digger
Pepper.
leans over.
Go ahead.
Digger leans over the doorway again. Yeah, he's coming. Relax. Chill.
Oh
Nope.
man, we're chilling. We're chilling like villains.
We already... No. We already beat the Frost Giant. We've chilled enough. Okay, so yes, Mari, if you can help Pepper with that, then try and get, I don't know. Let's go with overkill. Go get us like 5 gallons of blood.
Holy
That sounds good.
crap.
That's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
amount of blood.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Frida quickly pulls out her phone and Googles how much blood an adult male.
1.5 gallons.
So So Jameson
Anyway.
walks in, hands in his pockets.
Jameson, can I get you, Kirsten, and Chloe to go try and see if we can find a place where we can keep Orochimaru contained, but where that gas is not going to be a problem for us when we try to deal with it, assuming that that's what actually comes out.
I could try and find a place.
I mean, like a wind tunnel?
Wind tunnel would work. Focused
John
canyon
was
would
like-
work.
John was like rocking in his chair, and we were like, "You mean like a wind tunnel?" He just kind of stops, and his eyes get a little bit wide. Yes, exactly like a wind tunnel. A wind tunnel would be perfect.
And wind tunnel might be doable. Alternatively, canyon could work. I know a few good canyons where it would, where the cross stream. What do you call it? Sorry. Out of character. What do you call it? Sorry.
I don't remember.
Or the crosswinds would be enough to force any gas down into the edge of the canyon and disperse it out the rim.
Around here?
Within reach, yeah.
I mean, I suppose there's also the idea of Digger making such a place.
Digger looks up and puts his ears back. I'm not that strong. I don't want to.
Either way, if you three can figure out some place to try and keep this thing contained, where it's an enclosed area where we also can keep that gas from being as much of a problem as it was, that would be fantastic. Because the only other thing I can think of is having Digger to try to find Magnodon while we work on the rest of this.
Digger pipes in. I was already going to do that.
I know that, but I'm just whatever. You get the point. So as far as getting to the next part of the plan, then Harrison, Frida, and myself all need to, being the medically trained ones here in any extent, we need to go deal with Atlantic and figure out if, like, why he is still unconscious.
Will do.
All right.
Frida just nods.
It also looks like Bindweed is like emerging from Chloe's back.
It does.
Freedom!
I didn't mean to disrupt the chat. It's just random.
I mean, I know that the university has a wind tunnel they use for aeronautics experiments, but it ain't gonna fit that creature. Like, it's maybe the size of a crouching man. Like, it's not big enough. We're gonna need something much bigger. Mari?
I can see if
I'll get looking over topographicals. You start looking for aviation factories and R&D sites. If it's big enough to fit a plane, it's big enough to fit that monster.
Okay.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a tomorrow. All right, so everybody knows what the plan is then. So
Yep.
Let's head home for the night. We can start working on these tomorrow.
Good luck, everyone.
Yeah. Stay
Hey, Mark.
safe out there.
Hey, Mari. Cool.
Did you want us to check on Atlantic now?
Yeah. Hey, what was Jameson saying to Mari?
Is it cool if I chill on your front porch for a couple hours?
Why on my porch? I mean, yeah, but
The stars
Why?
are nice.
I also have a balcony on the roof.
Nah, front porch is good. Digger needs to run around.
Okay.
Hey, Mari, can I ask you something kind of stupid?
So,
My present situation.
you need a
I
room?
really, I
Yep.
don't really have the house or a family or a
That-
bed or.
that-
Wow, that's depressing. Holy hell. Yeah.
So, basically, everyone's been crashing here when they don't have other things to do with normal life, so it's fine.
Okay, cool.
Got-
I can just like
got
sit on the floor or something.
I've got room, and when I run out of beds, I've got air mattress.
Oh, okay. I mean, if that sounds cool with you. She promptly crashes on the nearest bed and sleeps for days or hours or whatever.
Alright, anyway. Ready, team? Break.
Right.
And he kind of like John holds his hands up above his head like it was some sort of victory pose or whatever.
John, no.
He's like super lazy about it. Like he's really not committed to the motion in the first place.
You shouldn't even half-heartedly done it.
Yeah, whatever.
So Frida is going to be going to deal with Atlantic.
Apparently.
Okay, so Frida, rain check on the schnapps.
Duh.
because I am going to go home, talk to my dad, and see if there's like a wind tunnel just lying around one of the studios.
Like I said, just tell him it was a drinking game.
We'll see how
And
that
that-
flies.
And that by the time the game came into play, you got so schmucked you couldn't even remember the rules. They said just something about ice and you freeze.
Digger actually puts his ears back. I'm sorry that I kind of blabbed. I didn't think your dad didn't know that you know, had extracurricular activities or would care that much.
Given what's happened in my past, he cares a lot.
That must be kind of nice, actually.
It kind of is.
Digger,
Good night, guys.
Digger shares a look with Jameson. Good night, Kirsten. And effects.
As I say, FX goes, oh, right, I'm supposed to go.
You're very quiet, FX, for a
For a talking cat.
for a talking pyrotechnics and industrial light and magic cat. You're very quiet.
I observe.
And with that, Jameson heads out to the porch with Digger. Digger runs about and begins make and unmaking holes in Mari's yard, while Jameson collects his thoughts.
Okay, so is anybody else? Is everybody else heading out then?
Yeah, FX or Kirsten's gonna just do all of her research at home.
Okay.
There's a lot of loud noises coming from the garage.
Anyway, so at that point, John kind of taps Frida on the shoulder. He's like, "I need to talk to you for a minute."
She turns and follows him to wherever he's going to lead her.
Out of character, this is what you get for grabbing my hand and preventing me from leaving, Amy.
So he just kind of walks towards the kitchen.
She has put on a very neutral mask kind of face.
No, so he makes her just a regular cup of coffee, and then opens up one of Mari's other cabinets and then starts pouring like it's hard to tell if it was schnapps or vodka or whatever, but he's probably familiar enough with her to put whichever one she would rather go for in the coffee, and he just hands her the cup.
She now looks at you like, "What are you doing, sir?" Like, she takes it and takes a sip quite readily and easily, but she's now like, this is... John is gone. Someone's replaced the reasonable human.
John, reasonable.
The guy that 2 out of his 3 appearances in season 1 involved him being in his pajamas.
Yeah, but this is not normally how they interact with each other.
Yeah.
So she is mightily confused.
So, like, the walkway between like the counter and the island, he like leans back against whichever one is opposite from her, And he just crosses his arms over his chest. So, understandably, you were upset with when I lost my crap at you and Chloe. I get that. I really do. And that's why I wanted to apologize for that, because what I had been wanting to say is apparently not what came across.
Thank you.
I was not trying to tell you that you shouldn't be feeling anything or that you don't have any justification for being upset about what's going on. Because you do. I mean, none of being here is what anyone would ever call reasonable. This is probably one of the most stressful situations that I have ever seen anybody from back home ever have to deal with. I spent those last 3 days while that light wall was going through running damage control on a world in panic. So I get it. What I had been trying to tell you last week when we were at that park, I was not trying to tell you that that you're not allowed to feel and you're not allowed to be upset. What I was trying to tell you was I wanted you to stop being so upset at Chloe. I didn't realize, all I had seen was that you had snapped at her and that one thing. And yes, I'm aware that I was not being responsible at the time either. But Chloe was doing what she thought she could. And you are not unintelligent. I'm well aware of the fact that you know that. But anytime she says anything around you, you start gritting your teeth.
She takes a few measured sips of her drink.
She was doing what she had to try and make sure that as much of this could be fixed as soon as possible. Was it the right way of going about it? No. I don't believe that what they said to get you triggered onto your memories was the healthiest choice. No. But when she had functionally actual godlike power to try and put the reality back together, you were one of the people she was thinking about. So, yes, absolutely, hold people accountable for when they fuck up. Just like you all held me accountable when I was drunk during the Magmadon fight. Hold them accountable, don't blame them. Okay? That's what I was trying to get across back then.
She's trying to put her words together. My displeasure is not specifically with what she did. It is the way she treated it after the fact, as simply saying, I'm sorry, and then laughing it off but I had to do it.
Well,
and moving on.
And I understand. Think about is who Chloe is. She gets uncomfortable, so she does try to laugh it off. You've known her for 2 years. You remember when you got that haircut right after Colorado? It wasn't very much, just a few inches, and you asked what everybody thought about it, and I don't even remember what she said, but it pissed you off because it was, yes, reasonably speaking, it was not the appropriate thing to say. And she's laughing it off then. She's laughing it off now. It's how there's a reason why Trill was the one put in charge of the base as a whole. You know Chloe has a hard time communicating.
She's getting a little annoyed. I understand that. But there comes a point with some things that you need to recognize that the way to fix it is to try and meet that person where they are.
Then you should probably have that discussion with Chloe without gritting your teeth. Because think about it. Well, actually, no, you weren't. I don't think you've been there for any of the times that she said it. But whenever you've gotten upset with her and you've stepped away, her outlook has been, it's better for you to hate her than for you to be upset at whoever else had to wake you up. All she has seen from you since then is you being upset with her. What I was trying to get at with the whole don't blame them, but hold them accountable. Talk with her about it. Let her know, as politely as you can at the time. This is why it bothered me. This is what you've done that actually bothers me. Because everyone knows at this point about the situation that has you upset, which is its own thing.
She has a flash for a moment, like, oh, you don't even know the half of it, and then quickly tries to school her face by shoving the coffee cup back in her mouth.
But this is your team. In the 2 years before the Titan incident, you spent as much time with these people as you did your family. I imagine there are a lot of things that Bindweed knows about you that even your dad doesn't. So
it's a little harder when I'm not sure I want to stay on the team when this is done.
And that is a bridge that you're going to have to decide if you're crossing it once we're done. I mean, to be fair, the team has always been volunteer basis. You guys aren't. You have never been beholden to being there. You were there because it was what you felt you needed to do.
I was there because I was a confused child.
Confused adult, confused child. Really, the only difference in most countries is if you can drink. And, I mean, with where you grew up, they were a lot more forgiving with that.
Thank God.
Whether you stay or not, that will be your choice. And hoping that we find them, I would say talk to Commander about it, because you know for a fact, we both know he's far better at this than I am.
She gives a very, impassioned, oh yes, this is so true. And then realizes that she wasn't just thinking that.
Anyway,
looks very guiltily at you.
He's obviously blowing it off because he's he made the fucking comment. He knows. But here's my point. Whether you stay or not after the fact doesn't matter. I know that you're concerned about what all of this issue implies for your family. From what I knew about your mom, I don't understand why you're keeping it a secret from her. I understand that when you knew her, you were 15, and you have a different perspective of things. But from what I've known about what was her name again?
Shit, I'm not on that page. The iPad that I need to get into is not mine,
Alexandra.
and it's the one. Yes, Alexandra.
From what I knew about Alexandra the Valkyrie, you're not the only pragmatic German in the family.
Well, we are on the topic. What did you know?
I knew that she worked with the same things that were in the file that Insight had for us. She had worked with the Duke. She stopped working with the Duke and went into retirement. We didn't know where she was or who she was until we found out about you.
Can't blame me for asking, though, just in case there was more than the file. Why can't I hear anything?
I muted for a second.
Oh, okay. It was like everything went dead silent, like I dropped. I was like, no!
And I can bump my sensitivity down so it's not picking up the constant static either, which I imagine has been bugging through most of this. Anyway, yeah. So what was? Yeah, I mean, I understand. Mother kept a lot of secrets.
Again, she has this face of, you don't even know half of it, sir.
And I imagine that it doesn't take really the imagination to know that Insight probably knows more than he put into the report. Because as much of a nosy son of a bitch as he is, he knows that a lot of this information is people's lives. And having it written down can cause problems. But that is a topic that we'll have to deal with later. For now, I'd go spend some time with her. If you feel like that you should actually be clear and honest with her, I think that would probably be a good way of going. But for now, we're trying to keep your friendship with Chloe, whether you're on the team or not. At some point, I would like if you could sit down and try to talk with her. Because, like I said, she has been acting with what Pepper spit just drops out of her mouth at the drop of a hat. Look at how you and Chloe have been talking. Try to be as pragmatic as you can about it. She is convinced that you two are done. And even if that is the case, you guys work together and functionally live together in Hamburg for about 2 years. And so you both deserve to have that be as forthright as possible.
The hard part is I want to say yes. I know that's the thing to do. It's just finding a way to do it without yelling.
If you want to do it without yelling, honestly, because I know that me being there would just kind of antagonize you a little bit more. Grab Jameson. Let's be honest, as socially awkward as he is, when it gets to that point that somebody in the room has to be calm, he does it.
And speaking of the devil, Digger then jumps up on the counter.
Frida frowns really hard and says, there are times like this that I truly wish I still had my own super strength.
I'm sure you do. However, I'm not here to be hyperactive fox. Before you do that, you might want to talk to the big version of me. And before you do that, just on the end of taking a note from Archmage and doing what I need to, you should think about something.
John's like giving Digger a very stern look. Like, first, like you can just tell the two thoughts are A, please never do anything like me, and B, I'm very concerned about what you're about to say.
Frida's just like, oh my god, I'm ready to choke a bitch out. I'm done with my feelings. I don't do the feels. Can we just be done with the feels? That's her internal monologue.
Oblivious to all this, the fox continues. You might want to consider going over your memories of where you were the last decade. Because he knows. And at that point, it hops off the table and scurries off.
Wait, sorry. Frida wasn't with you guys.
No, but Digger remembered a lot more of that world than anyone else. He actually had a map in his head of where things were. Because his backstory was he traveled a lot. He knew of a lot more than he let on.
I'm like, what do you mean? I wasn't playing in that game.
You weren't, but what did we say Frida was doing?
We were very unspecific.
We were very unspecific. That's why the fox just dropped that little hole of, you should probably think about that. Wink, wink.
I remember the specifics of that discussion. It involves the death cult.
It was like more of a like justice for the dead. By making more dead, potentially.
It's a death cult. You were
semantics.
A murder cult that followed its own morals regardless of the law.
Semantics.
Personally.
Semantics.
But before we spoil everything with that a character discussion, I think that's about it. That's all the fox wanted to say.
At this point, she now just grabs the abandoned liquor bottle and just takes a huge chug. And then back on the table.
And John does nothing to stop her, honestly, at this point.
I've kept my shit together. That's what the look says. I've kept my shit together. Shall we go see Atlantic?
Yeah. We'll grab Harrison and we'll go see if we can't diagnose what's going on with him.
She nods and heads out with no waver at all to her step, despite the fact she probably just took about 3 shots in quick order.
I mean, to be fair though, she's of a build where it's pretty easy to imagine that she metabolizes pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
She probably runs into my problem. Drink a liter of Everclear over the course of the evening just to maintain a buzz.
Yeah, that's actually why I stopped drinking. It was really too expensive to enjoy it.
But anyway, so Does anybody else have any more knife twisting character moments that they want to try and push forward?
Nah, did all my knife twisting. We all have knife twists.
Mari's basically just glad that she's got everybody in this house because she's not thinking about, or not Mari, sorry. Lita's just glad that that everyone is here and everyone else has difficult problems and can distract her from her own issue. Where the fuck is her mom?
Yee. I know this.
Although, probably sometime in the next couple of days, she's going to be going to John. Because she's got an idea. Maybe.
You cut out for a second. Sorry, you cut out on my end for a minute. What was
Oh.
She needs to what, John?
She's gonna go find John and ask if they can put their heads together about it.
Dirty?
Hey, y'all, it's gonna be all
Better
bad.
not be.
Pass out.
That doesn't.
Alright, have a good night, Morgan.
Good night,
Night.
Morgan.
Have a good night. See ya.
Now, Mari just spent some time showing off her toys, and not in a dirty way. Somebody else could nerd out with her. It was nice. Oh my gosh. Pepper needs to meet Hans.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
that was a comment that did come up last week.
Wait, what did I miss? All I did was walk up to my computer hearing, oh my god.
I said Pepper needs to meet Hans.
That was a comment that came up.
Yep. Anyway, so, like, yeah, just we're gonna have to set aside an hour and a half of everybody to finish geeking out about that one. Anyway.
And Lita in the same room.
Any day. Okay, so John planned on heading up the stairs with Frida and Harrison to check on Atlantic. So what I'm thinking is, okay, so there's gonna be a couple medicine rolls here. Okay.
I will fail all of them.
I don't know. You have a plus fucking 15. So the first one is going to be to diagnose what's wrong with him, right? So go ahead. Yep. So go ahead and roll your medicine there, Mr. Has a better functioning knowledge of medicine than somebody with a PhD.
It's all very holistic.
But
He's
remember,
very into like chakra rots and herbs.
remember,
That
Matt,
might be exactly what we need this time, though.
PhD doesn't mean that you actually are a doctor. It just means that you're a doctor of philosophy.
Yes. Anyway, so
Well,
Frida,
you are a doctor, just not a medical doctor.
so Frida successfully gets the diagnosis, right? Like the way that we'll run this is Frida gets all of the pertinent information from what they're getting out of him, right? And because I'll be honest, like she has more ranks than John does in medicine. So she's like actually better trained. He's like, I know first aid.
She's like, I can treat splints and muscle overexertion. That's
anyway.
what you would know for dancing.
So here's how we're gonna go and run this. So Frida's like, okay, so we need to check, these things and like what are the kinds of basics that could prevent consciousness, yada yada. And so they're using mage to do some like pretty much basic scrying spells to try You know, because they don't have a fucking MRI in one of Mari's bedrooms.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, I'm not going to judge her kinks. I mean, you've all
What
seen.
if she could make one?
I mean, you guys have
Yes,
seen.
it's a giant magnet.
Pretty sure that you guys have seen that picture I had posted about like when you're hitting on a radiologist and she decides to send you nudes and it's MRI pictures,
That's
X-ray.
X-ray.
Whatever, you know what I mean. It's in the porn and smut channel. By the way, everybody on YouTube, our Discord has a porn and smut channel, and then we have a tasteful, not safe for work channel. We are classy as fuck.
I don't
So
partake in the
fucking
one
classy.
channel.
Anyway, oh no,
It
that
really doesn't. Wink, wink.
anyway. So pretty much Frida like walks him through getting all of the relevant information, and she's like, okay, so this is the basic diagnosis. That like what they functionally figured out is he is unconscious, but it's not like a has a tumor kind of a thing or whatever. It literally is just like he is just resting, but he's kind of like
So you're saying it's not a tumor?
it's not the tumor. Functionally, all of his symptoms are of just exhaustion. And kind of what the diagnosis is, as far as his state of existence, whatever he was doing, like the moment that the wormhole had touched him, he hadn't, like, yes, he had been one of the gods in Scions of Tomorrow, but it's pretty obvious that whatever happened between then and now, it's like Atlantic himself didn't actually physically exist. And so he's in the exact same condition he was when he was dealing with some sort of emergency when the wormhole got him. So literally it's just he's beat up and he's exhausted from pretty much running 3 days of planetary emergency control. At which point Harrison's role comes in. It's like, okay, so we functionally just need to make sure he's still getting nutrients. We need to get him probably some not antibiotics.
Supplements?
Sorry?
Supplements?
Yeah, pretty much like he needs nutrient and his stimulant is what I was thinking. Pretty much some sort of stimulant or whatnot to try and help his body recover a little bit faster, maybe. And he should be fine, theoretically within a day. But it all depends on how fast he wakes up.
All right. At which point, pertinent question becomes, what does a merman eat exactly? What kind of nutrients would be getting?
Well, I mean, in general, most carbon-based life needs a certain number of macronutrients: protein, fat, carbohydrates, and then a certain. Sorry, what?
He likes steak.
So,
one of the things that I should clarify, Harrison, Atlantic is not a merman. His name is Atlantic. Atlantis is not a thing, kind of a deal. He literally is just somebody who just kind of like a number of people like Digger just kind of developed
water bending.
Oh,
function. He's a hydrokinetic who actually just pretty much mutated in adaptation to be functional within any aquatic environment.
oh, okay. So he is human. Basically.
Basically, yes. He is a human-based life form.
Digger pokes his head in the door. Don't feed the unconscious man steak.
Or tea.
So basically, if I were saying this was an athlete who would, or a dancer who had over performed for a few days, I would say stock up on your proteins and your fats and your carbohydrates of good quality, and make sure you're getting enough of the required vitamins.
Yep. So, at which point, John walks over to one of the like the containers or whatever that he had Mari order, and he opens up the cooler and just hands a freaking IV bag over to Harrison. Like, good luck finding the vein. The scales make it interesting.
It's more than a vein.
Do we need to do another medicine roll?
I might need a fillet knife.
If I remember the
That is poor taste, Harrison.
out of character, if I remember the whole the feeding tube goes actually somewhere closer to the stomach, I think. Like it feeds to...
It depends. You can do a line in basically straight into the gut and actually bypass, I believe, if you go straight to the large.
Right.
No, small intestine. I think you can go straight to that if you're doing that like as a medical procedure. I think if it's short term, they would usually just do it as a trach tube down through the esophagus if they don't think it's long term, like a coma patient.
Yeah, because crap, I said vein, didn't I? Anyway, so yeah, generally speaking, speaking out of character, because John doesn't know this shit. Yeah, short term, because especially if they're only expecting it to last a few hours, like they're just functionally having to force feed him for a couple of meals worth of stuff. That's where you're going to do the tracheal tube, because doing a full incision into the abdomen, that's going to take a while.
Surgery.
It can take a while to heal. It can get infected. It has too much possibility for complication for what amounts to feeding you two fevers.
All right. Well, let's disinfect the throat and see if we can pump through the scales.
Why are we going through the scales?
Are the scales not on the throat?
No, I was derping. I was thinking intravenous nutrient, and I was like, no.
You might still run an IV line for fluids.
Yes.
My dad would be so proud of me right now. I knew science-y shit, and I didn't take a biology class since high school.
Yeah, this is sort of the tricky part of role-playing someone who's smarter than you. Because he's got a plus 15 in medical, and I've got like I watch a lot of Scrubs in medical.
Honestly, with as far as how concerned I am here about keeping this game scientifically accurate, as long as we're following the principles, because
logical.
Yeah, like your character, yeah, you have a plus 15. 10 of that is from wisdom. You're just, I guess, really good at fucking winging it.
Intuit that shit. Intuit that shit.
The body is an intuitive machine if you know a few basic rules.
This should go here.
These.
To be a little bit off topic, but I mean, when it comes down to it, when my brother was asking like how to like carve like what was it? I think it was like we were talking about when we were at Sausage, and we were talking about maybe doing whole hog, and he was asking my dad something about, well, how do you know where to cut? And my dad's like, yeah, taking it from one spot just puts it in another or the other place. Though my dad did get major kudos for being able to get the pigs cleaner and faster than anyone else, despite not being a being an in-law.
Yeah, we're
Sorry, it's getting late.
I know, that's my point. So, anybody else need to do anything else then while we're on air?
I
go ahead.
don't think so. Specifically, anyway.
Jameson's just chilling outside while Digger does Digger things.
Fair enough. All right. Well, then I guess that seems like a pretty good spot to cut it at. So, say goodnight, everybody.
Cut it. Like,
Good night.
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 Also, I think what you wanted was a scaling knife, not a fillet knife.
Oh, shit.
my mummy taught me to do it with a fillet knife.
Oh, well, you know, I guess that's fair.
We are approaching 4 hours. Matt, quick, put on a song that lasts 4 minutes. Then we'll have an even 4-hour video.
Well, we've got the song. I don't think this song is 4 minutes.
Put it on loop.
It's okay, we've stalled enough.